Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to the Star Wars Legions Creator Clash. It's the Final Four here in the booth with you. It's Hunted and Uplink. And Uplink,
welcome.
I hope that you're feeling good. I know you've played in the Creator Clash. I'm kind of sorry that you're sitting next to me, but couldn't think.
I was kind of torn.
Yeah.
There was two situations there I could have been being shoutcasted by you, but Sammy put up a good fight. He really wanted me to be a part of this team, so he put up a great fight. So I'm excited to be here.
No, and we are certainly excited to have you in the booth, of course, to cover all of the action. And speaking of, we've got a lot of it on the docket here. Upcoming in just a couple of minutes. We've got the Final Four. As I mentioned, we started with 16 teams, and a whole lot of squadrons has been played out. Hopefully you've been following the series along, but let's take a look at this bracket as we've got, again, the Final Four of the 16 teams left. It's Sammy Boy and Split Screen in the first semifinal here. Split Screen known as the Mark Side and Sammy Boy known as the Sammy Squadron. I really like that Mark Side name, by the way, Uplink, although
I do too.
I think you have
I was the originator of that.
Yeah, maybe some bad blood there between the two of you.
There's a little bit. So when I was creating my team, I was a good friend of the podcast and a friend of a lot of the Discords in the Star Wars gaming community. Yepper was taken off of my team before I had the chance to ask. Mark came in and stole him from me. So there's a little bit of bad blood there. But if he can beat Sammy Boy, who knocked me out of the tournament, I will be very, very happy.
Yeah, you can see the little uplink logo there. I mean, at least it's on here twice, right? You made it into the quarterfinals.
It's true, which I did not think was going to happen, but we made it through our first game.
Well, on the other side of the bracket, in the other semifinal, it's Rogue Wolf and Twisted Jedi. Rogue Wolf we'll be calling the Rogue Squadron, and Twisted Jedi known as Team Twisted. So some awesome matchups. We're going to get into those here in just a second. Let's go through the format and talk about exactly what we were doing up to this point. So the first two rounds were scored using our scoring system, and that entails kills being 2 points, deaths subtracting a point. A win gives you 50 points, and capital ship damage gives you damage divided by 1,000. So 850,000 damage, for instance, comes out to 85 points for the team. Of course, the team with the most amount of points at the end of the round took the victory. But we are going to be moving into a different format here because we kind of want the best action that we could possibly get for the semifinals and finals here, Uplink. It's head-to-head action, and these teams are not going to back down from this fight.
It's definitely going to be very interesting to see. I love the differences of approaches that we've had so far in Star Wars Squadrons esports. We are seeing a lot of different takes, and I think each of them does have advantages. So I'm really excited to see. With this round, the first rounds we were doing more score-based, and this ones will be, since we don't have private matches, will be sniping the queue system, basically, trying to get everyone into the same games to have those head-to-head battles that everyone wants to see.
Yeah, and it's cool. I mean, with this, with the two of us not watching this live, so on the back end, everybody kind of getting things ready and getting those queues going. So the players, certainly getting the matchups that they wanted, and you and I get to call the matchups that we most definitely would have wanted. But let's go ahead and talk predictions. How do you see this one playing out? Of course, Sammy Boy, I guess they didn't take you out of the tournament, but, or perhaps they did, actually. I think, you were knocked out.
They did kick me out.
Yeah,
Sammy got a gigantic lead on us. We put together a very, very strong effort, almost doubling our first game, and calling in a good friend of ours who got kicked out earlier in the first round, Alex from Star Wars Explained. But even with all of that backup, we weren't able to get enough points for the massive amount of score that Sammy and his squadron were able to put across. But here we are, and I definitely want to. definitely want to shout out the person who I think will win. I think we're going to be having a Rogue Squadron celebration there with his 181st, but I don't know. We could see. I've definitely been seeing some good scores from Mark, so we'll have to see how that goes.
Well, I'm certainly excited to jump into it, as I think I'm kind of on board with you. Rogue Squadron, definitely one of the teams to watch. Of course, we've only got 4 teams here. Just about anything could happen. We have seen that over the past month and a half of Squadrons Esports. So definitely in agreement, but we'll have to find out. I know we're getting really close to the action. Before we get into it, just want to make sure that you follow us at Star Wars Legions on Twitter for Creator Clash updates and news, and of course any updates on any upcoming events, tournaments, things like that across Star Wars Squadrons and Battlefront 2. So
if you aren't following, what are you doing with your life?
Exactly. And not to mention, while we're going live with this video right now, so while I'm talking into your ears right now, we are doing...
You could be winning a copy of Star Wars Squadrons right now.
Right now. And we've got 3 to give away. Make sure that you are following our Twitter, and you can get all the information there, how to sign up, things like that, over on the Twitter at Star Wars Legions. Again, the Twitter handle there. But Uplink, that said, I think it's finally time to jump into this first semifinal. We're going to go into Rogue Wolf and the Twisted Jedi, game number 1.
Definitely.
And it is worth mentioning, too, just as a heads up before we jump into this one, I believe this matchup there was a little bit of some technical difficulties on the side of recording Rogue Squadron's point of view. So we're going to jump in with Twisted Jedi, and I'm going to follow along with his squadron here as they start off the game. Of course, with this being fleet battles, you kind of get that initial dogfight, right? And it already looks like, oh, goodness, as Twisted Jedi.
Oh, my gosh, right into the ship.
Yeah, going to start things off. Not in the best way, and already the Empire side, really, Rogue Squadron, coming out quite strong to start the game.
Definitely. I think one of the really good parts about Rogue Squadron and his team is they are very well coordinated. They have a lot of great guys on their team, and they definitely have that experience in the game and know what direction to take right off the bat. And you're seeing that here as they are pushing that morale and pushing back Twisted's team, while he is doing a pretty good job at going up against them and getting those enemies. They are taking it back right now.
Yeah, good comeback here from the New Republic side. If you look at their lineup here, they've got a couple of bombers, a couple of fighters, and of course that A-wing interceptor. So kind of I wouldn't necessarily call it standard. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit more of a shift.
Usually it's interesting to see the lack of support here, but maybe they will jump into that later on in the match. Just right now, I think they're trying to get those kills, but we'll see. I know support can be super integral when you're going on those bombing runs.
Well, right now they are, again, on the defensive here. Going to have to defend the frigates to start out the match. We're on board with Shadowhawk for the moment as he is looking for the enemy bomber.
Very nice.
We'll get him.
He's definitely doing a good job of locating those enemy fighters here.
He's going to get some good shots. Down to 34 health, though. Does take a couple of glancing blows. Going to turn around, but has chased the bomber off for now. But you got to get these kills, right? I mean, every frag matters in trying to push this bar back. And really, they've been on defense for a while. Granted, the frigates haven't taken a ton of damage, but the bar really hasn't shifted.
Yeah, something definitely, one of the best strategies. While getting those kills is very important, it's also very good to keep in mind to not die. That's something that Uplink Squadron at the beginning was a little rough on, and we definitely took a better approach in that second round. And that's super vital in the way that this game is played with those scoring earlier in the tournament, is making sure not to die. Because that also affects the morale too. So if you can get those kills and not die, it's a really good strategy there.
We are on board with one of the bomber players in Darth, as using that laser beam to good effect, trying to take down the enemy ship here. The frigates really still haven't taken a ton of damage. Shields don't quite go down, and it looks like as
they're
Darth
already switching too. Very nice there.
Yeah, gotta switch up.
It'll be interesting. Will they group up to get the attack run, or will they all go separately? We'll see here.
Well, of course, with how fleet battles works, going from defense to offense almost immediately, it's not, you don't have a ton of time, of course, to come up with a game plan for attacking. You kind of have to get your bearings, make sure that you regroup right, and start your runs. So we'll see as the New Republic side gets their first attack wave going. We're on board with Estevez, I believe, as he is going to find a couple of good kills, trying to shut down the support player right here. This is a big kill if he can find it, down to 72 health.
Definitely.
But unfortunately,
he's doing a really good job of defending that Corvette there too, so that's good to see.
Does end up
will he be able to make it come back out?
Taking some damage there, so going to rotate around, trying to find more damage as they push on, and already a ton of cruiser damage has been dealt. That
very nice there.
The C cruiser, I guess we can call it, the left side cruiser on the top of the screen, already down to about half armor, so, or hull, I should say.
They're starting to lose some morale here. Let's see if they can build it back up. They're doing a great job of attacking those cruisers there.
Okay.
Keeping a good amount of spacing, at least as going back to resupply, so that's good to see there. Will they be able to take out the C cruiser before they switch sides? We'll have to see here.
They are going to lose a whole lot of morale quite quickly. Yeah, a bunch of, looks like AI kills right there. Actually going to try to turn the tide of battle. Darth is on the respawn, and yeah, will eventually go into Rogue Squadron's favor, but they have a lot of ground to make up right here, Uplink. They took a bunch of damage in that last run, and now on the attack, going to have to get some damage done this time.
Yeah, really showing how quickly the tides can turn here, and we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen here. They are on the defensive now. It doesn't look like they were able to get the C ship, so we'll see if that affects them as they move on to the defensive round.
Well, both of the shields going to go down for the two New Republic frigates. So already some good work from the Empire side, from Rogue Squadron. However, Team Twisted going to be fighting back, as we are still on board here with Estevez in that bomber. And really, they haven't changed up too much. They're keeping this structured. It even looks like they're going to switch to potentially a third bomber here. So definitely.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, switching. They've got 3 bombers coming in with an A-wing and an was that X-wing too? Yes.
That's no support
here.
I'm surprised with how much the support has been kind of in the meta with some of the top level teams. Really utilizing the support. Typically having a support main player, right? It's surprising to see that we don't have a support on this side, although they are just about, they are one AI kill away from switching sides. The C cruiser just about ready to go down, and actually the bar's going to start to come back towards the Empire side. We'll see if they can get some more frags.
Very nice there. It's very surprising the strategy that they're doing is actually working out very well. The bomber focus here is doing a great job of getting them that morale and being able to get those AI kills as they run into the cruisers. What I definitely find super fascinating is how, as you see through the tournament bracket and the scores that we put up at Star Wars Legions, you can see how in each match usually there is a bar raising. You see these teams, while they did well in the first rounds, they more than outperformed their first round numbers with that second round to get into the third round here.
Well, now, I mean, scoring and, getting the kills, the wins, everything like that, that's one thing, but going head-to-head.
Oh, they got the C.
It definitely seems like another, as you mentioned, that sea cruiser does go down. And reminder, folks, this shouldn't even be an attack right now. It feels like with how close that bar was for the New Republic, they get the Rogue Squadron completely turn this attack around, and now it looks like that D cruiser is certainly going to go down here in just a moment.
Yeah, let's see if they can. Oh, well, falling back. Will they be able to finish it off? Because you can still attack those cruisers here. But I don't know if with their team if they would end up doing that. So we'll see as they go back to the ship to resupply here and reheal.
Yeah, we're going to switch off of Shadowhawk and back to Estevez now. Still sitting in that bomber. Looking for a couple of AI kills to keep the morale up. As frigates A and B going to be coming under fire.
Definitely here.
Ooh, gets taken out. Some good focus
Estevez
fire.
Goes down.
And now
Battlefront Pope is doing a great job of making it back to the supply ship to resupply and heal up. And you can't always do that in the game, so it's really impressive to see him being able to make it back each time. We're on Shadowhawk here as he is going to defend. Oh, they did get, was that B is down. So let's see if they can defend A here. Rogue's doing a great job at turning the tides and getting some good damage on these ships as they are kind of in the way of getting back the little bit of loss points that they did in the beginning of the match.
And this has turned into a very, very close affair right now. That A frigate still standing. We're here on board with Shadowhawk in that X-Wing, and there it goes. There's the final cruiser going to go down. So the MC-75 now exposed, and we should start to see some shield damage coming off. But the New Republic side.
Oh, they're doing a good job getting that Corvette down. Rogue doing a fantastic job with turning the tides here.
Ooh.
Definitely the battle. Oh, my gosh.
That's not what you want to see.
They go down.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
So eventually it looks like they will pull it back. Do just need maybe another frag here, and they should be able to find their way as we are on board here with Battlefront
Just need
Pope.
one more kill here.
Yeah, the rocket ends up not doing too much here. 16 health left on, it looks like, Heart there. Only 16.
Oh my goodness.
Will he eventually fall?
He
This
is
kill
doing
will.
a great job.
Yeah, the kill will switch sides. Doesn't. Oh, he does find it just in the nick of time.
Oh, he does.
Just
barely,
close.
and switches the tides here. Going on the attack. Twisted is doing a good job. That was a pretty good defensive run there. So it'll be interesting to see what their tactic is as we get a very spinny Twisted here.
Well, that D cruiser.
Okay, they're going to the cruiser.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It did go down, and they're heading towards the Star Destroyer. So we're pretty even right now. Like about we've got 20 minutes left on the timer of this game, and both teams are neck and neck.
It's plenty of time. I would be surprised if we timed out in this game with how much damage is being done in these attack runs. And Twisted Jedi's gotten a couple of good kills, going to open the way for his team a little bit here. And again, they are just going to start their attack run. Watch that little circle there as the green shields will soon eventually start to fall again. Another bomber in the sights of Jedi. He's in the only A-wing on the map right now, and he's of course doing a lot of damage, trying to make sure that he keeps the enemy pinned down, and again really just hasn't been focused. I'm surprised with no support on or in the game right now for Twisted Jedi's squad here. I'm surprised Rogue Squadron's not actively trying to take out this A-wing.
Definitely. I find the A-wings are very popular. They're really, really good at getting those swift kills, and they're really good at just avoiding those missiles from the bombers. So it'll be interesting to see if they stick with this tactic and if a support ship doesn't get picked for the game.
Well, we still haven't seen them switch to one, and as far as I can tell, Rogue Squadron has been running a support ship for a majority of this one. They are about to flip the tide, and there it goes. They are now on the attack, so we're going to take a look at Shadowhawk, see how he positions himself to try to defend. A decent amount of damage done by the New Republic on that attack run, but with how fleet battles go, one good push could, entirely end the game from a full health MC-75 down to 0. It
Definitely
could take one attack, and that will do it. But I have a feeling, as we continue to watch both of these teams do battle, I have a feeling that we're probably not going to see that. The defenses have been pretty good so far.
Yeah, they've been strong across the board here, and it'll be, like you said, you can go into one round with a full health MC-75, and if you have a very skilled team, you can draw that out, and in that one round, finish it off. So it'll be interesting to see if that is Rogue's tactic. Twisted is doing a great job here, getting that morale back, and going after the support ship with Shadowhawk here. Yeah, doing a pretty good job of avoiding those missiles, which is impressive to see here.
And that is Hart in the support ship. We saw Hart not too long ago in a bomber, so maybe a couple of strategy changes happening for the Rogue Squadron. And again, we apologize for not having their point of view due to some technical difficulties. But right now, they've got the shields down on the MC-75. Have taken a good beating in the process, though, and it will flip over into the Republic side, into Twisted Jedi's squad. Now on the attack.
They can get that good capital ship damage here.
Yeah, if they need it.
They haven't been able to successfully head close enough to where they can deal a good amount of damage to the Star Destroyer. So we'll see if they can get closer, or if that lack of support here is the reason why they can't get those extra bombing runs, because they have to go back to resupply.
And you know what I've noticed a lot, and it's it's a part of the game, but it's one of the things that can really, the little details that can turn the tide of some of these battles. But we have seen time and again just extra damage being taken by bouncing off a bit of debris or running into, even the friendly ship collision that we saw with players entering and exiting.
Yeah, definitely.
So those are. That even was a kill for the enemy team. It wasn't necessarily a kill, but it was a death that, affects morale at the top, and maybe a little bit of nerves coming into this first game, or just, trying to fly a little bit too fast to find some of these kills, but would like to see them clean it up a little bit, as they are still assaulting the Star Destroyer here.
I don't want to know how many times I've died on this map from the debris.
It is one of the key features.
Yeah, it's definitely something to be aware of. So they're pushing a little bit. The Empire here, Rogue Squadron, is pushing their kills back, and Estevez here doing a great job with that bombing run. One of the earlier ones in this round, so they've got the shields almost down here. So we'll see if they can deal more damage before the tides turn.
And we see him running away, trying to get away with his life. Does have 22 HP. Doesn't swap to any kind of shield generation or anything. Just going to stick on that speed, and then eventually falls.
That was so close.
Does that surprise you that it's, instead of trying to generate shields and duck and weave through the debris, it's just boost charging and trying to drift away? Is that a typical tactic that we're going to see these bomber players try?
I don't know. Usually, at least with my team, I tried to be more towards the focus on the shields, and sometimes that did work in my favor. Sometimes because of that, I wasn't fast enough. But you saw that there, he wasn't able to take those hits from the other team, and even with that speed, so.
And of course, the Republic ships, the main advantage they have over the Empire typically are those shields, except, of course, on the big Empire bombers. But so nice to see some metagaming, of course, as that was a very quick attack, and I don't think Rogue Squadron got what they wanted out of that one. They end up falling quite easily, but every time that we do swap over, and it doesn't seem like the New Republic have killed that shield generator yet here on Blink, and that's going to stifle them a little bit on this next attack.
Definitely. It will it's interesting to see how they aren't really attacking those key areas of the ships, at least on both sides. Really, they're definitely trying to go in close and deal that close quarters damage.
Well, now on this attack run, 4 bombers and 1 interceptor for Team Twisted. And I mean, maybe it's just it's an all-out blitz. They're trying to get as much damage as possible, take down, like I said, that shield generator if they can. Doesn't look like it's being targeted here, but in comes Twisted Jedi trying to get a frag. Will find one, and again, this interceptor. These are not heavy ships, or anybody who hasn't played Squadrons. These interceptors are light and fast. They don't take a lot of damage, but Jedi has stayed alive so long in this game.
He definitely has. It's super impressive to see, pushing all the power towards his attack here, doing some great damage. Gets rid of the shields there. So we will see if the Rogue Squadron is making some good headway against them to turn those tides once again. Back and forth, back and forth. It's 12 minutes on the clock left. Really surprising to see them push back and forth, as they are super, super closely matched.
Well, the good news is for Team Twisted, as we do watch Twisted Jedi go down, they were able to take out both shield generators in that last run, so there will be no shields next time they are able to get on attack, and that's, of course, assuming they are able to, as this, again, could be the attack run that ends it here for Rogue Squadron. However, if history repeats itself, it should be a rather quick attack, as right now we're watching Shadowhawk take down one of the big bombers of the Empire. And we are back level as far as morale goes. It can be, like we saw earlier, can be quite quick, or these attacks could take a few minutes off the clock. And even though we've got 11 minutes left, you don't want to lose track of that clock if you're either side, because the team who's got the most damage at the end is, considered the victor. So,
definitely,
I don't see us timing out, as I said, but it's something that you have to be focused on. It's again a very, very quick attack phase.
It's super impressive to see that defense from Twisted here as they go into the attack round. Hunted, what are some of the tactics that you've been noticing from the other games as we see in the esports of Squadrons?
You mean as far as fleet battles, or are you talking?
Yeah, as far as fleet battles here.
Yeah, well, honestly, the way that Twisted Jedi has approached this game is quite bizarre. I think we finally see a support ship here in Shadowhawk. I think he might have been on it a little bit earlier, but the fact that, I mean, supports have in my opinion, gained kind of MVP status for me. A support main who does a lot of work for his team is the man in the skies, in my opinion. And it's surprising to see Twisted Jedi not utilize it, but they've stayed alive. Again, that's been the craziest thing, is that they just haven't died with no support.
Yeah, it's super crazy to see, because you don't usually see a tactic like this, but it is working out quite well for them in this match. I think it's surprising to see maybe Rogue and their strategies here were very much towards the nice.
Yep, that's gonna do it.
Very good. Twisted definitely pulling out that win. I did not see that coming heading into that first match. I thought Rogue Wolf would have been a clean sweep, but they did a great job of defending that. So definitely very impressive there.
So Twisted Jedi going to take a one-game lead. Of course, we're playing best of threes throughout the day here. So a one-game lead for Twisted Jedi, Team Twisted over Rogue Wolf. We'll go ahead and jump into their game number 2 after we cover the first one. But I do want to just, again, we didn't see a whole lot of support play from Twisted Jedi, and obviously didn't affect them too much. They were able to take that win. And with the new patch that just dropped uplink, those Empire bombers not quite as tanky as they used to be. Maybe we're seeing a little bit of a kind of a weird in-between period, right, where teams don't necessarily know how to change out of that fast enough.
I know I struggled with definitely when I switch between Empire or the New Republic, getting rid of, just getting in that mindset of I don't have shields, but my ship is a little bit tankier. I definitely fell on that a bunch of times because I really enjoyed playing the Empire. But going forward with those changes, it's definitely going to be interesting to see, especially with the AI paths being adjusted in that last patch as well. Can't really get the cheese strategy where you just focus on the AI and get all of that morale here. Well, AI is super important. It's not as I think they changed the paths to where they weren't as predictable as they used to be.
Sure, and AI, it's hard to see from the spectator point of view sometimes, but those AI kills definitely do matter in how close these games have been, or at least that last game has been so far. But like I said, we're going to jump into that game, the game 2 of that series in a little while. We've got the other semifinal between Split Screen and Sammy Boy, their first game. We're going to run that one here for you all as we are just about ready to jump in. And here we go. We're going to start with Sammy Boy's squadron here. They are known as the Sammy Squadron, makes it easy to remember, up against Split Screen in the Mark side. And if we had to award the championship to one of these teams based on names, I think Split Screen wins.
Oh yes, definitely. I know that originally they had I think it was Screen Squadron or Split Screen Squadron, one of the two, and I gave them crap for that and suggested this title, and I think it's really, really stuck to them. I think they're doing a great job, and I think they are definitely the dark horse of the tournament. They started out, and I didn't expect them to do as well as they did, but man, they have been putting in really good numbers consistently throughout this tournament. So we'll see if Sammy he definitely had one of the, I think, top 3 scores in round 2, if not number 2. So they have a good strategy here. We'll see if Markside and his team can put together those numbers and pull out the victory here.
Well, Sammy Boy looks like, again, foregoing the support to start the game. Couple of interceptors.
Which I think is a fair strategy.
Well,
right off the bat, you don't necessarily need a support, but I do think it's important as you switch to the next phase of fleet battles.
No, absolutely. And we'll see if they do make that change, as looks like they're going to try to group up here a little bit. No, just some repair needed for that bomber. I believe that was Ellis we just saw there, but we are on board right now with Laps in one of the interceptors. Going to be looking for some damage as they've got an assault phase going on here due to the Empire side. We'll see if they can get some early damage off on these frigates, but right now, did he run into that? I can't. It's hard to tell from this third-person view, but he took a lot of damage from whatever that was.
Definitely. And something to be aware of, like last game, they did run into some issues with some technical issues, so we are seeing this round through Sammy's point of view here. Won't be able to see Mark's sides here, sadly, but we will keep everything up to date on Sammy's point of view. From a certain point of view, you could say.
Well, right now, the point of view we're looking at is Terminators. I guess we're looking at us watching him, sort of. This third-person camera is cool. Don't get me wrong. It can be a little bit difficult to see what's happening exactly in the cockpit, but we're watching Terminator get exterminated, unfortunately, and it will lead to.
He wasn't able to escape those targets on him, and we have at one point we just had 3 people that got taken out and were in the respawn counter, and we're still down 2 for Sammy Squadron here, and goodness gracious, they are getting shredded right now. So, there goes Sammy Boy. Before we started this tournament, he made us aware that we will be announcing his self-destruction quite frequently. So.
Well, there's the first of, I'm sure, many. But they are still on the defense.
Love you, Sammy.
And right now, this is a pretty good attack here from the New Republic side from Split Screen. And
yeah, they're doing a great strategy here.
well, they're getting a lot of kills. They're keeping the morale in their favor, certainly. However,
True,
just
yeah.
the cruisers are not really taking a ton of damage. We see maybe half shields on B, about a quarter of the shield gone on A. So getting damage done, but it seems like slow chip damage, and maybe we'll see them switch over to something a little bit more brutal towards those cruisers.
Yeah, but they are doing a great job of keeping that morale there. But like you said, yeah, I didn't even notice that. The A and B aren't getting, they aren't really dealing the damage to those ships. While they do have the control of the game currently, it's not towards the ship damage there. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, we're going to take a look at the scoreboard real quick. 10,000 capital damage for Big Mean Micropeen. Wow, that is quite the name.
Definitely. And it's interesting to see here. Overall, not a huge amount of kills for the Mark side. Surprisingly, with that very dominant match there, very little AI kills, while the Sammy Squadron is getting some good AI kills there. I saw one of the teams, one of the players had at least 6, so it's a good amount right there.
And it does lead them to look like they're about to turn things around. Maybe one more of these AI kills should be enough to do it. There it is.
There we go.
And the only real damage done was the shields on both frigates, and that's not terrible. I mean, you'll take that damage, or I'm sorry, the shields on both the cruisers, but you'll take that damage certainly. But with how long that attack lasted, it didn't seem like they got enough done as we're looking at Ellis's point of view in the bomber, and already C and D coming under fire quite quickly.
Oh, they are doing some great damage here. Definitely turning the tides. They are taking more of a focus once they've got that control on those ships, and they got the shields down and are starting to... Or do they have the shields fully down?
It looks, at least on... Yeah, they are. I mean, they're doing hull damage to C right now, so...
Very nice.
I mean, just how quickly this was able to turn. And, if you're the team that can get the frigates down early on, you put yourself in a really great position, because obviously it opens up the enemy capital ship for damage, but it also kind of shifts the battle more in your favor as far as positioning goes, right? You've got frigates or cruisers still to fall back to.
Definitely.
You get a little bit better spawning as far as, AI coverage, things like that, especially with the new update. So getting these first frigates down or cruisers, I wish they had just one name. Like, League of Legends, they're towers, right? We might as well call them the tower ships. But
attack those ships.
Attack the ships. Just blow up the ships, and you'll win the game. That's
all you have to do in this game.
Literally, that is all you have to do. They're just different sizes of ships.
Yes. Get those ships.
Well, there goes one frigate. The D frigate is gone.
Very nice.
C has half hull health, and we're watching Sammy Boy right now chase down what looks to be a defending interceptor. There was a bomber there as well, but he will pull off. And yeah, I mean, just look at the zone out right now is Sammy Boy, and when I say that, I mean zoning out enemy attackers or defenders to make sure that his bombers, his boys, have enough space to take out these frigates, as it looks like C is just about to go down.
Ooh, almost there. I think they will be able to take it out in this round. Just looking at the clock here, we had the Mark side take that strong lead with about 5 minutes, doing very little damage to those medium-sized ships. And we see Sammy Boy in just about 2.5 minutes or so take out both frigates. So their strategy there is super, super strong and doing a great deal to keep Mark side on their toes. Right. And while keeping that lead here, will Mark side be able to get that morale back? Oh, there goes Sammy Boy right into that enemy ship bomber.
Yeah, he was certainly getting focus fire down there, but the MC-75 is exposed. Here comes a run from the beefy
Big
bomber.
green micro P.
Yeah, he's got pretty much all of the hull damage, or all of the capital ship damage, I should say, for his squadron here. Looks like he's just going to suicide himself on the ship as, yeah. Looks like, yeah, okay, he does end up going down, but get some hull damage done.
Definitely.
To the MC-75. And I wonder,
valuable here.
As we continue playing throughout the day uplink, what do you start to see these teams focus on when it comes to the MC-75 or the Star Destroyer? Like, do they auto-target the shield generators first? We didn't see that in the last game. Or, do they take out the targeting systems, or do they just go straight for damage?
I know personally we usually try to take out those shield generators, and that is a popular strategy. But I think one of the better strategies is going after those targeting systems so you can get your team closer to that ship without taking a whole lot of damage from either of the M75 or the Star Destroyer. So that is a good strategy there, making sure those turrets aren't getting you damage as you approach. But there is also the strategy that Twisted did to great success, where they just focused on not particularly one area of the ship, but just dealing a bunch of damage and keeping that morale. So it'll be, I mean, right off the bat, in the games that we've already played, we see varying strategies from each person than we did throughout the rest of the tournament. So people are definitely getting used to the different intricacies of this game. And I think it may be getting used to the new updates that they put across. So people getting over those and be like, maybe the strategy that I used before doesn't really work now. Let's try something new. So we see 2 A-wings, a support ship, and a bomber here for sure from the Mark side, with 2 people going down. Oh my gosh, Sammy and his squadron are doing a great job at keeping that damage going.
Yeah, this has been an extremely long attack for the Republic side. It looks like it's about to come to an end. It finally does, but that was 2 frigates and about half hull damage on the MC-75. They still have both their cruisers, though they are shieldless here, but with how Sammy Boy's squadron, or the Sammy squadron, I should say, has been playing so far, the Mark side, I mean, this attack has to do so much, right? Like, you have to get cruisers at least here.
Definitely. What strategy do you think Mark could do here to pull it back out? Like, they are at a loss here, super, super bad. Like, what can they do?
Shoot the enemy ships.
There we go.
Just shoot the enemy ships. Get those more before they shoot your ships.
Yeah, shoot. Be like Han. Shoot first.
Well,
fast and first.
I mean, really, it's tough to tell what they need to change, because, of course, we haven't been able to see their point of view. So we haven't seen their kind of their setup. But again, it looks like, as far as I can tell, Sammy Boys or the Sammy Squadron here has foregone the support pretty much the entire game. I don't know if that is the case for the Republic side, as I think there's even a support ship being shot at right now. But
yeah,
I'm surprised with how little we have seen supports. And
yeah, we've got 3 games here or 2 games here so far, and neither of them have really been focusing on the support here, at least from the point of views that we have seen.
Right.
I know we saw a support ship on Mark's side when we got that glimpse of the scoreboard. We had interesting strategy here. They had 2 A-wings and not as many bombers as I would expect on Mark's team here. That may just be biased because I am a huge fan of the bomber, and it's kind of sad we didn't see the Bomb Squadron Civil War. I know one of the strategies we used for Operation Ace was that the bomber strategy here, which you can deal a lot of damage with, and you can use those bombers to great effect.
Right.
But we haven't been seeing a whole lot of focus around here, at least on Sammy's team or Mark's team here.
Looks
good focus on interceptors, though.
Yeah, I mean, this attack looks like it's about to end as we are watching Sammy's squadron push back the attack. And I mean, they got a cruiser. It's better than nothing, but with how much damage was done, and already Lap's just going to switch off, get something else, and how quickly this transition seems to be working for Sammy Boy. You know, I just don't think that last attack did enough. They have to have a big defense here because you've already taken hull damage, and if it's any kind of prolonged attack, I think you just straight up lose.
Definitely. Sammy will get past their defense unless they can switch it up quickly here. Otherwise, this may look like a victory for Sammy Squadron. Come on, Markside, you gotta do something here.
Ooh, kamikaze. Wow.
Oh my gosh. That was a lot of damage there, or it seemed to be.
How did he stay alive from that as well? That's
I don't know.
He was alive for so long, just sticking to the hull of that ship. But as you said, a ton of damage.
Is it possible to learn this power?
I'm sure with some of the plays that we've seen, and especially in Operation Ace, when you know, I was on the broadcast for that and I got to watch some of those matchups. It seemed like that was the go-to plan for half of the teams, was just ram the bombers into the capital ships and hold down the trigger. And
yeah,
you know,
very early on in Squadron's life cycle, and they have done some updates here to where they've definitely shifted the focus on with the changes that they've made to make the bomber less of a beast, while it is still a great tactic to use.
And we've also seen a bit of a switch from the mentality of just suiciding into the ships, because you know, staying alive is probably the most important thing you can do in this game, especially in fleet battles, as we do see Exterminator get taken out there. A lot of damage has been done to the MC-75. It looks like the Empire, or I'm sorry, the New Republic should turn this one around to get another chance at those the cruisers. But
if they can get it right now, they could have a good chance to be able to take at least a bit of it back. They definitely need to get that frigate back, or frigate destroyed, and do a lot of damage. And I think this is the round. If they want to win, they have to finish things off with this round.
Yeah, I don't see them living through another attack phase, certainly. And I mean, again, they didn't even get the A cruiser in the last run. I mean, it's very, very weak. It should go down here momentarily. It does fall, and now the Star Destroyer is exposed. But, you know, that's just another
key moment.
Yeah, but it's just another distraction, right? You had to expend resources to find that frigate or cruiser, when instead, you know, you could have been focusing on grouping up or killing enemy players, things like that. And now finally the battlefield will kind of shift to be a little bit more even, but you've got to know right now, if you are the attacking team, that this attack probably means everything. At the very least, you need to get shield generators, you need to get targeting system, or you know, 2/3 of the hull down to have any kind of chance in this game.
Definitely. Right now is a key. Like you said, they had to waste that time getting rid of the A cruiser here, and they have a lot of ground to make up here if they want to take home the victory. So we'll see. Sammy and his squadron are putting up a great defense, keeping that morale going, as the Mark side try to get those bomber runs, but they keep on getting picked off, like we just saw Exterminator do right now. So they aren't dealing a whole lot of damage. I can't tell from this perspective what they're exactly aiming for, or if they're like aiming for a specific, if they're going for the shields or the targeting system, or what they're doing here. But it would definitely be interesting to know what their tactic is as they're going into this round.
Well, we're looking at Exterminator right here, taking out a bunch of AI, and that'll be it.
Great job.
Yeah, that is a great job from Exterminator to turn the tides yet again, put his team back on attack, and now, what, maybe 20%, 15-20% left on the MC-75. I just have a feeling we're about to have a Game 1 victory here for Sammy Boy.
I think so. So we'll see as they move forward. They've done a fantastic job keeping those the morale up and doing a great job defending like we saw last game. So I think if they can get this damage off, they can finish up very quickly. And it seems to be a little bit of a quicker match than the last one we just watched. So we'll see.
Well, we're still on Sterminator's perspective, as he has been doing pretty good work focusing down these bombers. He's got Jepper in his sights right now. We'll take out the shields, and that is one thing I've noticed as well. We have watched a lot of interceptors so far today that have lived. As there you see on your screen, he gets a great shot. That's a beautiful shot of the ship exploding and the win. But
Sammy Boy taking the win for the Game 1 for Split Screen versus Sammy Boy. Look at them all in their matching garb. Very nice there.
And I mean, again, you know, I don't know what it is about these interceptors. Of course, we know that they're small, nimble ships, and they can do a lot of dodging and weaving, but there have been, like, Sterminator in that game, and I'm blanking on the player that we saw in the first game. I think it was Jedi. It was Twisted Jedi himself. So, you know, these interceptors are doing a ton of work, and I'm surprised that we're not seeing them get focus fired down a little bit more, although fleet battles can be quite chaotic and hard to, hard to sort all of that out. But that being said, we've got game number 1 for both matchups being won. Sammy Boy has a 1-0 lead over Split Screen. Twisted Jedi has a 1-0 lead over Rogue Wolf. And we are about ready to jump into, I believe, game number 2 for Rogue Wolf and Twisted Jedi. So
we are.
What are you expecting out of this game before we jump into it? Do you think Rogue Wolf battles back and evens the series here?
I think so. I think this will be the turning point. Hopefully, we'll see. I am rooting for Rogue Wolf here. But Twisted Jedi, with his strategy here, has been doing a great job at keeping Rogue on his toes, changing up his strategy. I don't think Rogue was used to it, so they had to switch things up. But I think going into this game, we see Rogue start getting used to Twisted's playstyle. But we'll see. Twisted did a great job the last game at keeping them on their toes. So we'll see. What are your thoughts going into the second game?
Well,
here?
it's Abyss, right? I mean, this map can be so.
Not one of my favorites.
Yeah, it can be so polarizing at times, as immediately we see.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, we see Twisted Jedi and company kind of getting obliterated to start this game. They're gonna have to play defense here as Wolf Squadron or Rogue Wolf's team has the attack, has the initiative to start the game. We'll see what they can do against these cruisers, but coming into Xavier Abyss, it's one of those maps, as I said, that can be very polarizing because the spawns can be very difficult to try to come back from, right? Obviously, you spawn under your cruisers and stuff, and that's great, but with how limited the movement is, because you don't want to go too deep into that fog,
definitely
it can feel like you're getting funneled into like a death funnel for the enemy team sometimes.
Oh yeah, I know during our round 1 matches, we were taking our matches and we got paired off against Rogue doing his practice. He was actually practicing with his team for the round 1 games, and we were on this map here and they completely shredded us. So I think they do have that, I wouldn't say home turf advantage, but that's kind of the viewpoint that we've got here. At least they do a great job on this map, and we're seeing that right now, doing a good job taking down the shields of the cruisers, but Twisted's doing a good job of taking down
the Corvettes here.
The Corvette here.
Well, I will say that Twisted Jedi, as we saw earlier, Team Twisted did a great job of taking map number 1, but you look at the results coming into this one, and if there's a team that has gone through adversity in this tournament, I think Rogue You can kind of put Rogue Wolf's team in that. A 2-1 series win against Star Wars Explained in the first round. I mean, that's a pretty big, pretty big victory there. And then immediately after that, a 2-1 series win against Lore Star. So they have they've dealt with the adversity before. They're down a map now, can't lose this one or they're done. But I just have a feeling with how well they came out to start this game, it feels like Rogue kind of woke up after that first map.
Definitely. Yeah, like you said, he went up against, I would say, if they didn't get paired off in the first match, I would have said we would be watching Rogue Wolf and Star Wars Explained in the finals. We would see them take it all the way, and that would be the last matchup. But we got them paired off right in the beginning, and that I definitely saw that thing shake everything up, and we're seeing Rogue come back to form after that first match. And I think we'll see, but that strong start was a great focus. They got the shields off of Twisted's cruisers here. So,
well, I'm hoping that events like this and others that will be popping up soon really do push the limits of competitive squadrons, and can give us the tools to really make these into full-fledged tournaments, and hopefully we can start to see
private matches.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hopefully we can start to see legitimate full. I would love to see just a huge tournament between as many squadrons as we can get, and maybe a group stage or a double elimination, something like that, something that allows people to shine, because there are some very, very high quality players in this game right now, and
definitely
would love to showcase them. And of course, I mean, these players, don't get me wrong, these creators have also spent a ton of time in this game, and this is some of the best squadrons you're going to see.
Definitely. Every team has taken a great job with taking the time to get those practice runs, making sure they get their strategies going, and every one you see an improvement with. So that's very cool to see.
It's an interesting camera angle.
It's quite the camera angle there.
Well,
but
maybe
like
this
said,
is how Twisted Jedi's so good. This is how he plays.
Exactly, his strategy. Yeah. So I don't know what happened right there, but Twisted is getting pushed back. They're doing a pretty good job though, keeping that morale surprisingly, even with those deaths here. 2 people out of the match. Twisted's jumping back into the game now. But like you're saying, if we to esports, even with the hurdles that both people like Boomstick with Operation Ace and Sammy and Arcross with Star Wars Legions, even with the hurdles that they've faced, we are still creating something right now that is Star Wars Squadrons esports. This game is perfectly set up for esports. So hopefully we get the tools that we need for furthering this game and furthering the community here.
Absolutely couldn't have said it better myself. As right now, we're on board with Battlefront
Taking
Pope.
a hit onto that asteroid.
Yeah, he's going to just say hello to the asteroid. Retreat back now, but they have turned the tides again. They were on defense for a little while, and by they I mean Team Twisted here. They are on attack now. We'll see what Battlefront Pope decides to do, if he's just there for repair, if he's going to switch things up. We're here with Darth now in one of those bombers, and not surprised to see this setup again here from Twisted Jedi. No support ships, 2 bombers, 2 interceptors, and that fighter, as this is going to be some decent damage.
Ooh, doing some great damage there.
And we'll see who's going to get these first frigates. Shields are pretty much gone on these, and if I can't remember, I don't think Rogue Wolf had any kind of hull damage on the cruisers.
I don't think so. I believe they got the shields down, but I don't remember if they got much of the hull damage there. But Twisted's doing a good job of getting that damage. With that first run, they did a great job with the damage on those frigates here. Oh, getting into the... that's one of the tough parts of this map here is some parts of the map with that visibility is so hard to get out of, hard to orientate yourself.
And again, I mean, that's kind of the nuance that is Xavian Abyss. Those clouds, they seem appealing at times to try to get away from enemy fire, but you're pretty much guaranteed to take even more damage than if you were to just let a bomber sit on you and shoot you. So a little bit of some team damage again. We've seen that a little bit from Twisted Jedi Squad, but it hasn't really affected them too much. They are on defense now.
And with a nice drift there, too.
Well, you and I, unfortunately, we were wrong. It looks like both cruisers instantly going to go down on this next attack.
Oh, my goodness.
And, yeah.
Very nice.
Rogue Squadron most definitely coming out to play here in this map.
Darts trying to get some damage on that Corvette as it goes to its to the Star Destroyer. Get that target there. But they definitely need to be focusing on some of those AI kills to get back that morale. Will they? It looks like a lot of people are focusing on that Corvette. Darth heading back to the ship to either change or heal up here. Now we're watching Twisted Jedi, and we'll see what his strategy is going into this defensive. They've been putting up great defense against the really strong offense that Rogue's been putting up too. So
now
here he is.
Correct me if I'm wrong. There is no cooldown for the number of times that you can go in and out of the ship, right?
I don't believe so.
I wonder because it's funny, you know, it reminds me of, you know, the amount that you could micromanage it. It kind of reminds me of some like RTS mechanics of being able to pick units up and move them about and, you know, kind of avoid damage by utilizing the ship. And I mean, it heals you to full health too. So you come out fully healed, full shields. And I wonder if we're going to see that a little bit more as, my goodness, everybody goes down. Yeah. Goodbye, Twisted Jedi's team. We're on the Star Destroyer cam right now as we wait for them to respawn.
I've played a lot of games in Star Wars Squadrons, but I don't think that's ever happened to any of my matches there. That is crazy. The whole team got wiped out, and we're just waiting to get them back into the game here. Crazy offense from Rogue there. Interesting, though, you can see how deaths affect your morale while they aren't in the game. It is staying pretty static there as it swiftly goes back down.
Yep.
No.
Immediately. I mean, like we said, I mean, I'm sure they've respawned by this point, but you know, the Star Destroyer is exposed now. They weren't able to take out the medium ships, so I've got to say this game really feels like it's gonna go in favor of Rogue Wolf with how well they've come out of the gates, but. You know, Twisted Jedi and company, don't want to count them out too early as they've had some pretty good defenses so far to start the day. You know, I'm remembering last map how quickly they were able to stop the momentum of the Empire side, and now I don't see it happening because they're kind of in a similar situation that we saw Split Screen in last game where they just weren't able to get enough damage done with their attacks to make defenses any easier.
Yeah, they're definitely being kept on their toes here. Rogue, oh my goodness, Estevez right into that bit of debris, and you have to be careful on this map because you've got the asteroids, you got the storm, and then you've got debris that you got to watch out for as you traverse this map here. Ooh, got taken out by the Corvette there. They are trying to get the morale back up. But I don't know. We'll see. Rogue Wolf, they had that rough start, but man, are they coming back with a vengeance here.
Well, they've nearly taken out the Star Destroyer shields, and again we are on Star Destroyer cam as we watch the assault continue. Here's Twisted Jedi off the respawn. Just trying to do any kind of damage, but back and forth, the morale continues to go. Jedi, and there's what I'm talking about. He doesn't go down. He gets full health, and it doesn't count as a kill for the enemy team, and now the morale's still in their favor. They can turn this defensive around.
Yeah, it's a very nice strategy there. Doing a great job of sticking to that defense here. And should they get a little more kills, they should be able to turn the tides and be able to get some more damage. Hey, there we go.
On to attack. Just about 17 and a half minutes left to go. How quickly this game has developed, I certainly don't see us timing out. But
definitely.
Now I wonder if if we could ever see, if we ever get private servers and could create custom game modes, I'd love to see what like a blitz mode of fleet battles would be. Like 10 minutes on the clock, like all of your weapons and stuff. They do regular damage to ships, but to capital ships they do like triple the amount of damage. That would be kind of nuts.
That would be super crazy to see. I would definitely love some of that support from the developers. It would definitely make commentating a blast. I don't know if you could keep up with all of the stuff that would be happening through that.
I mean, man, keeping up with everything that goes on in these fleet battles on its own can be a challenge at times with how much is happening all at once. Is right now this attack going to fizzle out again for Twisted Squadron.
They just can't get close enough to that MC-75 to deal a lot of damage there. Well, they did have to waste some time and resources too, trying to take out the other ships too. So that B ship was still hanging around.
Well, the Star Destroyer exposed again. Estevez hustling back, going to get a little bit of a repair. Shadowhawk looks like going to do the same, wanting to perhaps swap out of this this support ship. We'll see what Shadowhawk decides to go with here as the defense is on now. And I think, actually Shadowhawk emerges, maybe just needed more supplies there. I didn't quite see what his levels were.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
But
they're definitely utilizing the ship there to great effect at resupplying and rehealing, taking advantage of the lack of cooldown or anything on those.
It's so funny. I don't know, Uplink, if you played through the single-player campaign or played any of the missions, but
I played the first one. Greatly enjoyed the first mission, but I need to get back and play the rest of it.
Well, in the prologue, there's a joke that's made, I think, when you're playing on the New Republic side for the first time. There's a joke that if you get too close to the burners of the ship, right, like you're going to disintegrate. And it's just so funny watching these players oh my God, they almost did it again. Wow, that was really close.
Yeah.
But it's just funny to watch them sit on the backside of these ships after playing through that.
After yeah. I always thought, like, man, I don't think this would be good right here. Could you imagine the differences of gameplay if those actually did kill you on contact?
Yeah, I mean, it would. I personally, this is my personal preference. I know not everybody will agree with me, but I personally would love to see impacts and stuff like that do way more damage. I just don't. I don't. You see a player run full speed into an asteroid and just kind of bounce off. I would like to see it be a little bit more punishing because it forces you to have to, be aware of your surroundings a bit more. And I totally understand that, this game wants to be accessible to people, right? Like you want to appeal to people who might not have the experience. So, clipping an asteroid probably shouldn't straight up kill you. Well, there we go. Okay.
It'd definitely be rage-inducing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe for like an esports mode or something like that. Something that makes it more punishing that these players can't just face roll into a capital ship and be fine with it. But anyway.
Yeah, definitely playing around with the physics. And I can definitely see both sides of the argument here. I do think that was one of the issues I had with Battlefront and its Starfighter Assault was you could scrape something and immediately die. So that was something that was super frustrating. So it was good to see that they switched it up in this one. But like you said, maybe they could change the physics of it. So like if you're going a certain speed, no matter what you hit, you die. But if you're slowed down,
Right.
You'd be able to brush off those much easier.
Right. I just think it adds an extra layer of complexity and strategy to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, defense right now going to turn into attack for Twisted Squadron, and they have done a phenomenal job of playing defense yet again here.
They have.
In this one.
Surprisingly so.
No, it really did look like Rogue Squadron had this on lock, and now all of a sudden, another attack here for Twisted Squadron. They've got the MC-75 exposed. No damage done. They're going to have to try to get those shield generators out this time, but the fact that they haven't lost this game yet is remarkable to me.
It is. I would have expected that around this time Rogue we would be seeing a win from Rogue, but they have stretched it out. We've got 12 minutes left on the timer, and they are doing a fantastic job with holding that defense here. But defense is great. It stops them from doing damage, but we need to see some damage on that capital ship from Twisted's team here.
Well, the power system going to be targeted by Twisted Jedi. Not going to be able to chew through the shields, and actually ends up
see if he can be able to make it out alive.
Yeah, he ends up taking more damage than he ended up dealing, unfortunately. We'll scramble. Has the repair. Opts not to use it. I'm surprised. Repair your ship, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, he just dies. I don't. That's mind-boggling.
Oh, Shadowhawk doing a good amount of damage on that shield generator here. Very nice.
So, it's so ridiculous to just. You have this giant laser beam in the front of the bomber, and you just ram into whatever you want. It's ridiculous. He does it twice there, but does get a ton of damage off. And yeah, this Star Destroyer now down to half hull, half shields as well.
Very nice strategy there. Battlefront Pope. I wonder what he's doing right now. I think he's prepping for another defense run here. Let's see if he can get some of that morale back up, and maybe they can get another bombing run or something going on here.
Right, absolutely. But this could, this very well could be the final push. They've got pretty good morale. Obviously haven't taken too many losses quite yet. Hart is going to get targeted there, but the shields are gone. Hull is at half health, and we've seen a couple of bombers pass by Battlefront Pope right now. He's still trying to take down Hart in this support ship, and maybe that's not the right call right now. Maybe you need to start focusing these bombers because, he
needs to do something.
Yeah, the hull is not going to last forever, especially against these Empire bombers, these New Republic bombers and the lasers. This looks like this could be it right here, Uplink.
I think it could be. The Rogue is coming out full swing, doing some fantastic damage. And there we go. Rogue with his victory. They came out swinging. They were knocked to the ground, but they came up and they were rocking it out. Did a fantastic job. Great job to the Rogue 181st here.
And a well-played game there. That will extend the series to 3 games, so Rogue Squadron, again, cannot avoid a 3-game series. It will be 1-1. I can't wait for the conclusion of that one, but we are going to
definitely.
We're going to jump over to Split Screen and Sammy Boy here in a second for their second game. But
what did you think
of that last game?
Of that last game, what were your expectations going into it? Because I didn't expect Twisted to push back so strong, but
not on Xavier Abyss. On any other map, I would have been a little bit more like, okay, it makes sense. They're going to pull out some of these good defenses, but like I said, Xavier Abyss can be so polarizing at times that I was actually surprised when we didn't see like a 15-minute win from Rogue Wolf with how they started that game.
Definitely.
So it's going to make for an interesting game 3. Hopefully, Twisted Jedi. Their team's not a bit too, not too down on themselves after that loss. It was a tough loss, but, it wasn't a bad loss. I think there's bad losses and there are tough losses. I think that was a tough one.
Definitely. Both games, really. Rogue winning that's the game we just watched, and then Twisted with that first game. Both were neck and neck, showing just the skill that both of these teams fought to get here, and they both deserve to be here.
Well, with that, like I said, we're going to jump into their third matchup in a little while, but right now we've got Sammy Boy up 1 over split screen, and they are trying to take the victory on
Can
these
and the Mark side
on the dockyards here.
Pull out the victory here.
Yeah.
So I'm 50-50 on the dockyards. Some games I greatly enjoy it, and in some games I'm like, why?
You know, with all of the dogfighting that I've covered through the 5-man server and things like that, I have grown to really like this map for the dogfighting aspect of it. Like, this first part is awesome because there's so much you can do, and there's so much you have to be aware of, and sneaky little routes and ways for interceptors to get in and out of battle, that it can be so chaotic and so fun. But at the same time, for fleet battles, it feels like a little much at times with,
Definitely.
you know, with trying to get across the map. It kind of comes down to, like, do you sneak your way across? Do you just bum rush it and hope that they can't catch every one of you through all the different things at times? It's just, it can be quite chaotic, and maybe we'll see the meta, you know, evolve over time, certainly, but I like this map a ton for dogfights. For fleet battles, it can be a little much.
Definitely. Yeah, like you said, I greatly enjoy it for the dogfighting aspect, but anytime we play fleet battles, it's like it's either hit or miss. You have a fantastic game on this map, or you have a terrible game on this map.
Right.
So we'll see what goes on here as we see Sammy going back. Mark's side doing a great push there. Can they be able to, like, that first game that they played up against Sammy Boy, they did a great push. They controlled it for quite some time, but they weren't able to get that damage off. Will Mark and the Mark side be able to do that damage? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, 2 bombers, 3 interceptors on the Empire side for Sammy Boy here. And not surprising, certainly, to see that.
No.
Even with the nerfs to the bomber in the most recent update, it's still a very reliable ship, right? It gets you minimum damage done. Like an interceptor, you could have a great life and kill, 5-6 people and then eventually die, or you could just be one shot coming out of your ship. But a bomber will always have that kind of minimum, like, yeah, we're going to get some work done. We'll get an assist on somebody. We'll do some hull damage somewhere, and then eventually they'll take us down. Or, I mean, of course, you could have a huge life on a bomber, but I like the, kind of like the ground level. Like, this is the minimum amount of work it's going to do.
Definitely. Props to the motive team there doing a great job with balancing out the bomber, because they could have gone and just completely nerfed the crap out of it and it not be viable at all. But I think they did a very good job. While it's not as overpowered as it was, it is still a great ship to fly in.
I'm just waiting for the release of allowing players to pilot the capital ships, or maybe not pilot them, but let players fire the lasers and stuff out of the capital ships. Make it a 6-on-6.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Or you like
that would actually be really cool. Definitely change up the strategy there.
Yeah, and you could have a player, bounce back and forth. Like, you're only allowed to control one ship at a time, but you can be in any of the cruisers that are obviously still alive, or the capital ship if you want. I think that'd be fun.
Definitely. I think that would definitely change up the aspect.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe if they make a Squadrons 2, we'll see something along those lines. Laps is really taking some good damage there from that hit against the debris or the rock or what have you. Is he going to make it back to the ship to refuel, or is he going to decide to attack run? We'll have to see here.
Honestly, it looks like he's just lurking right now, trying to find somebody out of position, I think, from the Empire, or I'm sorry, from the New Republic side. Might actually have split screen himself in his sights right here. in that A wing, so won't be able to really pin him down too much yet. And he realizes this is probably not a fight he necessarily wants to take alone.
Yeah.
Going to retreat. Smart play there, not to give up your life for free. But yeah, I mean, I again with Nadiri Dockyards and how complicated of a map it is, even when you're on attack, it feels like you're on your side of the map half the time if you're an A-Wing or one of these Imperial Interceptors, because there's just so much ground to cover and ships can be in these little nooks and crannies waiting for your teammates. So I don't mind this from
I don't
Laps.
know how many times I've been picked off from someone who's camped up above the map or what have you.
Well, the frigates are taking some damage. D down to half hull. C still has half of its shield, so it hasn't really come under fire too much. But pretty good attack run here for Sammy Boy, and I would put them out in a lead to start this map.
Definitely. Definitely considering how much damage they've done for the frigates there, or the cruisers. But nice little resupply from Laps there. What will the Mark side do? He's actually Laps here is doing a fantastic job at the drifting there. Great to see.
Well, now on defense, we'll see how Laps decides to play this, and doesn't get to play it at all. Gets instantly taken out by an encroaching bomber, and that's the danger of sitting and lying in wait. If you get caught, there's not much you can do, especially in those tiny little interceptors. But right now, a good push from the Mark side. They've got a little bit of damage. The main thing is the shields are gone on both cruisers, and they're really starting to take some hull damage now.
Definitely doing a better job than the last game that they had against Sammy Boy. They're doing some decent damage here on their attack run. So that's good to see. We'll see if they can at least match Sammy Boy and head on to the third game. So we'll have to see going forward.
It would be awesome to see a couple of game threes to start these semifinals, or I guess not to start the semifinals, but to work our way through them.
Definitely. It would definitely be cool to see them get into the groove as they continue playing, because I definitely think, as we've seen on both sides, it does take a little bit of time to get used to the controls and get into the game. I know every time that we got into our practice rounds, we'd hop into some games of dogfights so we can get once again used to the controls and make sure we're in top form.
Well, the Star Destroyer is exposed. The cruisers go down in pretty good time for the Mark side, and they're certainly going to take a lead. However, the morale going to start to swing back in favor of the Empire, and we should see them on attack here in just a moment, as the AIs unfortunately do have to fall. It's part of the game at this point. Need those points to get yourselves back on the offensive. But while we do have a little bit of a break in the action, just want to remind everyone that we do have a giveaway going on right now. Make sure you head on over to Twitter at Star Wars Legions. On Twitter, there is a link there where you can register for the giveaway. We're giving away game codes, giving away Squadrons games. I think we've got 3 to give away, so make sure you register for that. If you haven't yet tried this game, it is a fantastic game. The fixes have been wonderful. I think the community's response to it has been awesome, and not to mention all of the cool content.
Definitely.
You know, all the Mandalorian content that's come out recently as well has been great. And I think it's just an awesome time to get into the game.
Yeah, if you have not played Squadrons and you're watching this like, man, this game looks really fun, definitely follow us on Twitter and make sure you enter that giveaway. We've got a code for Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. So stay tuned for that, because these games are fantastic. It's fun. You have the competitive side of the fleet battles, and then you can also, like, what I greatly enjoy is jumping into dogfights and just hanging out, because you can feel super epic with those dogfight moments there.
Well, and not to mention, as we are, actually, I'm not sure who we are looking at right here, but the attack certainly looks like it will be in favor. Oh, this is actually a player cam. Oh, this is cool.
Very nice.
Okay, I wasn't aware that we
Sammy
even
Boy
had
here.
these. This is nifty.
Yes, Sammy Boy says here this is his actual perspective, so that's great to see. Good to see kind of what he's going after here. Doing a good job of pinging those enemies, and nice drift we just saw from Sammy Boy as well. Just trying to keep it. C is still holding strong. Oh, nope. There they go.
Oh.
Sammy Boy got taken out by the Nebulon. And you were waiting to see.
Man, I would love if the regular spectator client would have the kill feed in the top. Just watching these perspectives just for the kill feed is so nice.
Definitely. It's good to see also who he's going after, so you can tell whether it's AI or actual players. Oh, he did bounce off there. Almost avoided that, but wasn't able to. Doing a good job of picking off those players. Sammy Boy just got one of the Mark Siders. And going after Yepper here. Will he take down that traitor? We'll see. Oh, he does. Good job, Sammy.
does go down, makes it pretty level now.
Going after split here.
Not a ton of health left. Will fall, and I don't even think he got the.
Takes him out.
He didn't get the shield generator, unfortunately, before he falls. As now Sammy going to focus here on the Corvette. And this could be a pretty big defense. The Corvette falls. That's enough for the morale.
Ooh, good job there.
Yeah, Sammy's going to go change ships real quick. Laps is there as well, and it will.
Oh, almost crashed again. We're seeing that a lot these few games here. Going into that little area too fast and almost dying, or actually dying as they go to resupply or reheal.
Well, fortunately for him, hasn't quite happened yet. However, the MC-75 is exposed, and
going after Mark there.
This is a pretty important attack right now. We'll see if he can catch split screen off guard a little bit.
They're doing a great job with the marking of the enemies too. That's very impressive to see. Something that I often will forget to do, try to get better at, is it's very important to mark those enemies, whether they're attacking you or you're attacking them, and you can get some support from your other teammates.
Sammy's got to try to run from this missile. Still tracking him down. Does eventually get away from it.
Very good there.
But yeah, I mean, we're watching Sammy play this interceptor. Obviously, most of the time, these interceptors not going to focus on taking down the capital ships. Moreover, just taking out enemy players, trying to zone out and keep his team alive as much as possible. Being that fire support, if you will. He is down to 57 health. We'll have to retreat. Maybe opts to go all the way back. Does seem so, as the defense has been pretty good so far for the New Republic team. And
still doesn't look like Sammy and his squadron have a support ship. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
Nope. Still supportless, I believe. Yeah. 2 bombers, 3
supportless in Seattle.
Yeah, two bombers and 3 interceptors. It's been the name of the game for them up to this point, at least here on the document.
Those Aussies, man, both of the Aussies here, going to go against the normal strategy of having a good variance with someone focused on the support here.
They just don't believe in support in Australia.
I guess so. I was just about to say that too. Those Aussies, man. Strong, independent folk they are.
Well, right now they're still on
Here
the
we
attack.
go, going after Civ here. They are, surprisingly so.
I'm wondering why. Okay, there we go. Eventually, the defense does stand, and the MC-75 going to live for a little bit longer. But you know, both teams have had back and forth attack waves, but nobody's really gotten too much done by way of hull damage or systems damage, as far as I can tell. And that is also one of the kind of notable aspects of the dockyards. It's quite a large map, so it can take a while to get from one side to the other. And while you're doing that, you know, you're getting shelled. There's not a whole lot of, you know, it's very one-directional, right? Like, you come at it from the front side because you got to avoid everything else that's on the map. And it can be, like I said, very funneling sometimes. So not surprised to see these ships remaining a bit untouched here as we approach 15-minute mark.
Definitely. Sammy's over here going after Yepper once again. Will he be able to? Oh, he does pick him off. Yepper's trying to get those shield generators there. He's going over after Civ as well. They're doing a great job of keeping that the attack there, switching it once again. Really impressive to see. Sammy's going back to reheal, resupply for going into that next attack round.
What? Who do you expect?
Looking at this right now, 15 minutes left on the clock. Who do you think will pull out the victory here?
Well, after that last defensive, I've got to give it to Sammy Boy's squad, because again, I mean, they absolutely shut down the attack. Granted, they haven't done a ton of damage themselves, but they've started to chip away. The hull has taken a little bit of damage. They're down to half shields, and they have actually done some systems damage, which is not something that you can say for the Mark side right now. But I think this attack's going to be huge. If they can get, you know, maybe half hull damage done and can go back home knowing that they've done a lot of damage to this ship, it should be a relatively easy win. But if the defense holds here, and it just doesn't look like they've got enough, they keep falling, and Sammy Boy's been alive for quite a while, just taking rockets. As it looks like we're going to switch back to this regular spectator mode, but he's been.
It's a great transition there.
Yeah, he's been taking. He's been taking enemy fire, but staying alive and doing damage himself, and the defense does work. They do defend. Sammy's going to get some more damage for the road does fall, but it still feels like it's in Sammy's court right now.
I think so as well. Sammy doing a great amount of damage, just chilling there. Surprising too. Interceptors this game have done a great job staying alive, which I can never do when I am the interceptor.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Jedi do it a couple of times. We saw Exterminator in the last map. Seen Sammy Boy do it this time, and yeah, maybe it's just a lack of target fire from some of these teams. I know that when you watch some of the best teams, especially in the 5-man server, things like that, a big part of what they do is target firing and making sure that everybody's kind of on the same page. There's support across the spectrum for everyone, and in fleet battles that can be very difficult with how much is happening. But I think the best teams are going to show themselves to be the best teams because of their target firing abilities.
Definitely. Big, mean Micropeen here. Let's see what his strategy here is.
I think we're gonna call him Big MMP. Seems like a good nickname.
Doing some good defense run there against the Mark side as they try to get some more damage on that Star Destroyer. Looks like back in Sammy's court once again as they go to take another attack run on the MC-75.
Shield generators to target. My goodness.
Sammy going in fast and strong, bounces off the hull, trying to get some more damage once again. Like, what is this? How is he still alive right now?
Well, anything could take him out, it seems, right now. Got to target this power system. He's got 14 health, does a ton of damage, and still will get away. The power destroyed as well. Does he escape with his life? No way. Okay. Does eventually fall.
If he made it back there, I would have been
this could be it, though.
insanely surprised.
This could be it. This could be the game right now. Sammy boys.
Oh, boy.
Wait, did they all die? Are they all dead? No, they take it out. Okay, they did it. They won. That's it. Sammy Boy's team
Oh, my goodness.
goes to the finals. They're our first finalists. Congratulations to the Sammy Squadron for taking out the Mark side in 2 games. And they were very, very close.
Good play there.
Yes, very well played.
They were. Is it kind of biased that Sammy Boy is winning in his own squadron tournament? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Is he fudging the rules here a bit? I don't know.
Well,
but it's great to see those strategies that they were incorporating were fantastic, and the lack of support. What are your thoughts on this? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know. Maybe they just haven't gotten the memo that support is kind of where it's at in this game. And, well, I mean, I guess if you're not going to run a support, your enemies aren't going to run a support. It kind of balances itself out, right? And I don't know. Still, I think we have a lot to learn with this new patch. So, you know, maybe it's just one of those things that's going to fly under the radar until, you know, somebody plays an extremely great support and their team just literally never dies, and then people will realize that it's important. But, you know, I'm surprised to see it nonetheless, but I guess I'm not terribly surprised to see Sammy Squadron moving on into the finals. We're going to figure out who's going to join them here in just a moment, because we've got one more map to go in the semifinals. Uplink. It's Rogue Wolf and Twisted Jedi oh my god, Yavin to decide it. And we go from the dockyards to Yavin, and it's like night and day between these maps.
And you, like, what a map to have, like, to decide the finals and who goes next. Like, this is the most even playing field you can imagine for a squadron's determining game. Like, this will be very interesting. It's very interesting to see as they go in, and we'll see how strong each team goes. Can't really tell right yet. But definitely not the same explosive entry that the first game had quite yet. But Rogue are doing some great damage there and taking some morale. They're going back and forth. They're doing a great job at keeping it even. Very surprising here.
And for anybody who may be new to Squadrons, this map, as you can quite plainly see, is just absolutely wide open. I mean, this is pure dogfighting at its finest. There's nothing to get in your way. There's no asteroids, no debris, no buildings. It's you and a whole bunch of enemy ships, and you've got to kill them faster than they can kill you. And I've talked to players a whole lot, and I think it's almost unanimous that this is the least favorite map, at least for dogfights, because there is nothing to hide behind. The only things you can hide behind are your teammates, and that can be very, very stressful.
The only thing in your way is your skill, and if you can actually pull it off.
Yes.
If you can't hide behind your skill, you are not going to perform very well on this map. Like, there's nothing. It is just pure unadulterated skill when you go up on against another team on Yavin.
Well, I'm really excited to watch this one. I'm so glad that this is map number 3. Again, we've only got the Twisted Squadron point of view due to some technical difficulties, but across the way, a very talented Rogue Squadron as well, led by Rogue Wolf. And you know, I think Rogue was one of the favorites coming into this one, I'd imagine, right? That
Definitely.
Looking to push themselves into the finals. They had to deal with a bit of adversity in Game 1. Twisted Jedi had a phenomenal performance in that game. They were able to edge out a victory in Game 2, and now all of a sudden we find ourselves in a battle to the death over top of Yavin. And right now on defense is the Twisted squad. Couple of big frags, though, coming out as Estevez is going to fall as well, and these frigates are under fire.
They are. Rogue Wolf doing a great job of keeping them on the defense here. Though, like we saw last game, Twisted, like both games, Twisted and his team are fantastic on the defense. They are pushing. They do a great job of keeping the other team on their toes and making sure they don't do a lot of damage against their ships.
Oh, there's Darth. Good frag. See if you can get a couple more as the morale going to swing. Only shield damage done to the frigate so far.
Ooh.
Ends up. I wonder. Well, I mean, I guess that's good enough. We'll eventually get that morale swing, and now on to the attack for the Twisted Squadron. And
let's see. Darth's going over towards. Was that be C or D here?
Well, C has no shields. I think C is on the left side. I would imagine when we're approaching it from the perspective of the New Republic. So if Battlefront Pope turns around, I believe C is on the left on your screens right now.
So,
kind of hard to see them. They're down there. But I believe left side is C, right side is D. Could be wrong, but honestly, both shields are starting to fall. C has taken a little bit of some damage, and actually Battlefront Pope not opting to go for anything. But I mean, this is Yavin, right? You get obliterated through midfield right there.
Yeah.
And
as a bomber, you can just throw your bombs and they will hit something. There's no way to avoid it on this map.
Wow. So back and forth we continue to play. Defense now. I wonder, I know how, with Yavin being the way it is, I feel like if there's any map that you're going to time out on, I feel like this is the best option.
Definitely. They are pushing back and forth, back and forth. There isn't a lot of headway on either side. Though I will say Rogue is in the lesser situation right now against the Twisted team here. A and B for Twisted are still pretty strong on their shields and definitely their whole structure here. So we'll see if the Rogue 181st can bring it out and do some good damage here before they are pushed back. Twisted doing some good damage, protecting that frigate really well. Going after these ships down. Oh boy, he's in the smoke down there, the atmosphere.
I would like an indicator on the heads-up display here for the spectators, to the spectator HUD, when players get grabbed by those tractor beams, because it's hard to tell sometimes, and it almost looked like he was kind of in one for a second. I don't think he was, but it's like the support ships and stuff can carry tractor beams, so it's not impossible for him to have been in one just trying to escape out of it. And sometimes you do have to take a little bit of damage or kind of go out of your way out of the battlefield to get away from those tractor beams. But does a good job of returning to the ship, doesn't fall, and the assault will continue here as C and D exposed, no shields. I would imagine C falls on this attack run, but it looks like as Estevez kind of sizing up the opponents right now, they're going to wait to push as a unit. And again, Estevez, is he planning on attacking? Yeah, I think he's just going to go for damage. Maybe this is just a little bit of a diversion, or just trying to find some damage on the way to the ship. Yeah, okay, he's going to divert now to try to do some damage. Here comes the rockets. Should put on a decent amount of damage, but again, nowhere to go. Just kind of get insta-targeted down.
Definitely. Yeah. unless you're like, super good at the maneuverability there, you can't really get away from people when they start locking onto you. So, especially as an A-wing, you won't be able to get. You don't have the health that the other ships do.
Right.
So, you have to be really careful with what you do when you go into those runs. Once again, they're falling back to the defensive, and Rogue pushes forward. But again, A and B for Team Twisted here. They are in a great space. They have a strong defense, and their ships haven't really taken a whole lot of damage there.
And it's so funny because if we remember the last map between these two teams, I believe it was Rogue Wolf who they took a lead because in like their first attack they were able to take out both frigates and do some amount of hull damage to the enemy capital ship. And now on with the map like Yavin, where it's just run in, die, and hope you do enough, they've been on attack multiple times. I think 3 or 4 times now, and they're just about ready to get rid of these frigates here, as A and B both really, really low, but so is Chile right here. Should fall to that rocket. It will go down. Good shot there from Twisted Jedi, and now just got to try to escape. 21 health, 8 health by. And A falls, B is next.
There we go. Doing it. Oh my gosh, they did pull out the damage on those frigates there, and they're going after the MC-75. Will Twisted and his team be able to pull that defense once again, like we've seen before? The game lagged up there a bit, and Estevez goes down. Shadowhawk doing a good job. Looks to be just hovering around. I don't know what's going on right now, but he did switch up something, either to resupply, because he didn't really need to heal up. Again, another one goes into the ship to resupply or something.
I mean, I wonder even for the smallest of reasons, as Hart in the support should fall. Yeah, it does go down, but for the smallest of reasons, I feel like it's worth doing, right? Like you come out of the ship, you do some damage, you maybe assist a player, or you take out somebody's shields, you do some hull damage to someone, or even to the enemy Corvette or Raider, and then you turn around, hightail it immediately to your ship, and you can come out faster than if you were to turn around, right? Like
that is true. That could be their strategy there. That is a fantastic point to be made, as they because like you said, they do the damage, they go back into their ships. That takes away any kills that they could have been getting, or the opposite team could have been getting from that player as they're in their ship. So that is a good strategy to be noted there.
Yeah, I mean, it's defensive, but it's also, like I said, it's also a little bit faster, I would imagine, too. You just kind of go in, click through the menu real quick, and you're back out without having to turn.
Definitely.
But either way, both of the capital ships are exposed. The Star Destroyer now will come under fire here, but with, again, this map being Gavin, I would imagine this attack doesn't last too long. We've only played 10 minutes or so, so I'm actually quite surprised on how much damage has been done up to this point. But this is so close, and again, the winner of this goes to the finals. The loser, unfortunately, is done in the Creator Clash. So this is important. I mean, this is literally a battle between two exposed capital ships on Yavin to go to the finals. I don't think we could have asked for a closer matchup.
Definitely not. It is, like we said earlier, they both earned their spots in the semifinals, and they are fighting to the death to make sure that each of their teams is in the finals against who we've just found out, Sammy Boy, with that last game, was able to secure his victory in the semifinals and head on to the finals. So who will go up against Sammy? We don't know quite yet. We're going to be finding out with this game. Who could it be? Both teams very, very balanced here. Like you said, both of their capital ships are exposed. They don't have anything to hide from around this map.
Well, I mean, right now the morale's actually staying well in favor. Well, as I say that, I think the Raider... Well, no, the Raider's still alive. They just got a bunch of kills back-to-back. If this Raider goes down, that should be the end of the push from
definitely
the Empire side. I was going to say the morale was pretty good for a while there. They got half shields and a tiny bit of hull damage done to the MC-75. I mean, they're going to come back in, try to support that Raider to not let it fall, but there it goes. And, they need one AI, anything to go down, and they're back on the offense.
Sneeze on an AI and it turns the tide.
Yeah, we'll see if they get it. There it is. Okay, so back to the offense go Twisted Jedi's squad. And right now, Rogue Wolf, I think they're happy with that run. I mean, they didn't do too much, but they took half shields. I wasn't able to tell. We need somebody to kind of look at it in the right way, unfortunately, with the MC-75. But maybe I couldn't see right there. They might have taken out one of the two shield generators. If they did, that's huge.
Definitely, it could get them to that next spot and secure their victory. Again, there isn't a huge swing on either side here. As we go into the 17 minutes on the timer here, and there isn't a clear indicator of which team is set up in that way to take on the victory here. Doing a good job targeting some of the ship here. Ooh, how is he still alive?
Oh, he's not going to be for long.
Yeah. Once again.
There he goes. And the Star Destroyer now does have only half shields. Shadowhawk looking to target that power system. Going to target it with the nose of his... it's stuff like this. Why can you just do that? That is the one thing I would like to see change. That if you go headfirst into a power system or something like that, headfirst into anything at that speed, that you can do. Yeah, and there you go. There was a good look at it right there. One of the shield generators is down, and you can even see didn't regen health, did the MC-75. So this is a great spot right here for Rogue Squadron. They've taken out half of the shields. They've got an attack going here, and the defense last run was superb. None of the shield generators went down. The power system stayed alive as well, and this could do it. I mean, shields are almost gone. This could be the final attack.
It could be. Goodness gracious. Yep, as the shields go down, the ship is exposed. Twisted's going to have to do a lot of work to bring it back.
Ooh. Well, not only are they going to have to defend this, and it's going to have to be a heroic defense, but if they do manage to pull this out, they've gotten a lot of good kills. That's great. But the hull has taken a decent amount of damage, only about... I don't know, maybe 30% left on it. The defense has to be good, but this attack needs to be great because we're about to see.
They have to do.
When we switch over, look, full.
I don't even know
full.
If they switch again. I don't know.
Yeah.
They have to finish it off this round, otherwise Rogue is going to take home the victory. Because I don't think even with the best defense, I don't know if they can bring it back. With how much damage Rogue 181st did.
I mean, again, I think a heroic stand on defense again can give them another attack run, but they cannot. They have to get at least both shield generators and, in my opinion, half the hull. On Yavin, absolutely needs to be done right here on this attack run, or it could very well be map number 3 and a spot in the finals to Rogue Squadron. Ooh. Twisted Jedi goes down. The shields are starting to be taken out. Morale pretty high right here for the New Republic. Estevez just can't quite seem to get a grip on the control. Will fall for nothing. And things are starting to swing back in favor of Rogue Squadron.
Darth going after, are those the turrets that he's going after there? I'm not sure what he was actually aiming for. situation.
Maybe just looking for damage. Again, I'm just surprised. I mean, look, the 2 shield generators at the top of the ship, they're clean right now. They've barely taken any, and the defense has come through for Rogue Squadron. We could very well be seeing the final push on the MC-75. Luckily, it does have half shields, but the hull is exposed. And just one good bombing run.
Rough spot right now.
And look, it's already taken damage.
Oh boy, I think Rogue's got it. They are doing a great job of keeping Twisted on their toes.
Yep, that's got to be it. No way.
Going after the Corvette. Oh,
there it is.
There we go.
Wow.
Rogue solidifies his place in the finals. So we've got Sammy Boy versus Rogue heading up into the semifinals.
Wow. A comeback for Rogue Wolf as well. I don't like to call best of threes reverse sweeps, but I mean, it is kind of what it was. Again, Rogue Wolf dropped map number 1 in a very, very close game. They end up coming back in map 2. And then on Yavin of all maps, they end up with the victory. Well played to them, and you know, super excited to see them in the finals up against Sammy's squadron. But you know, shout outs to both teams in Split Screen and Twisted Jedi for their competing there in the semis.
Definitely, they both did a great job. Twisted, especially, they did a great job of keeping them on their toes. It was back and forth the entire time, which going up against Rogue Wolf, you don't really expect to stand up against his team, which are behemoths in this tournament. Going like from the beginning, they have been dominating. So we'll see what goes on in the finals. What are some of your predictions going forward?
Well, if it's going to be a Rogue Wolf victory, I think they need to do it in Rogue Wolf fashion and go to all 3 games again, because that's all they've done throughout the tournament so far. But they have taken down some big name players. Again, we talked about it. Their first matchup against Star Wars Explained was one of the key matchups for them that they needed to win. They win that one. They take down a wonderful team like Twisted Squadron, and Sammy Boy's team has been great, but I don't know how they're going to stack up against Rogue Wolf's team, who just seem to be on fire right now.
So something going into the finals match is like, will Sammy pull out the support? I don't know. I know Rogue has been keeping a strong support for his team, and they were really balanced overall. There isn't like they don't lean heavily towards one way or the other. So we'll see if Sammy's all offense attack structure will actually end up helping him or hindering him as he goes up against Rogue Wolf, who definitely number 1 seed as we go into this finals match.
We are about ready to jump on into game number 1 of this finals. I couldn't be more excited. I hope all of you watching at home right now also excited. Reminder that we are doing a giveaway. Make sure to follow us at Star Wars Legions on Twitter so you can be linked up there, eligible for that giveaway. But we hope that you've been enjoying this one. We've got the finals up next right now as Sammy Boy and Rogue Wolf. And we're on Yavin again. I was going to ask what map we're going to get for map 1.
My gosh.
Let's start it off on Yavin. Why not?
Like, what a way to end this tournament. No frills. Yavin, one team skill versus another team skill. Nothing to hide behind except for your team. Like,
yeah, this is awesome.
What an absolute banger of a map to be on.
And, you know, I'm so, again, I just want to say this one more time. I'm so glad that the decision was made for these final rounds to go through the arduous process of Q-sniping one another, you know, until you got that matchup. And we realize that it's not perfect, right? And you're always going to get people complaining on Reddit or questioning, like, well, is it really esports if we don't have private matches? I say to you that this tournament and these last 3 games, and I guess with this last one here, I mean, this kind of proves to me that Squadrons esports is a thing, regardless of private matches or not. And
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm so glad that we get to watch this matchup. Sammy Boy, the Sammy Squadron, up against Rogue Wolf, Rogue Squadron, in the finals. Best of 3, starting things off on Yavin. Looks like it will be Rogue Squadron to start some damage here on the frigates, but I have a feeling that this is going to be a pretty close matchup.
Definitely. Just from what we've seen in the previous, unless they start to fade with how many games that they've put in, but we've seen both of these teams put up impressive numbers throughout the tournament, so I don't expect anything less than an amazing matchup. So I am super happy with this tournament as a whole. Like you said, people will always complain, but this just solidifies how viable this game is for esports and how well they've got it set up. I think basically if we get private matches, we can have a whole world of esports content with this game, and even without private matches. But obviously it would make it so much easier with private matches.
Absolutely. But right now, the focus is here on Sammy Boy. Laps in specifically, or in specific, I should say, as he is looking to defend these frigates, both of them without shields. Heavy damage coming on to B, and Laps will fall as well. This is a wonderful attack from Rogue Wolf to start this game.
Very nice.
And you can even see
kick 3 of their people out. What a blast, man. Goodness gracious.
And I mean, just to get the shields on the initial attack and additional hull damage, any amount of hull damage you get here is just icing on the cake for this first attack.
Definitely. What a matchup. So we're heading in Laps. We've got his perspective on screen right now. Looks like he's deciding what to do right now. Going in between the frigates here. Just kind of... Oh, and he goes down. Wow. Now we're focusing on Sammy Boy as he's trying to defend here. Oh, will he go? Oh, he goes down as well.
Yeah,
wow.
This is huge.
What a push for these teams here.
Yeah, this is huge.
Getting
12.
Look
at the damage. 12,000 hull damage already, or capital ship damage, I should say, for red already from Rogue.
181st red. What in the world?
Yeah, this is an insane attack to start this game, especially on Yavin. We talked this map up so much that the defense is going to prevail, but Rogue absolutely just I mean, they took it right on the chin. Huge damage. They didn't get the frigates to start the game, but they do a massive amount. Now they're going to have to play some defense. We'll see if Sammy Boy and company can try to return the favor here.
Definitely. It will be quite the matchup. It's already quite the matchup with that explosive entry into this game. Rogue back in form. Like, my goodness. Like, the first, like the previous match against Twisted, there was a good balance between the beginnings of the game and throughout the whole game. But man, is he starting off with a bang on this one. And
already the defense doing a lot of work, though. It is starting to go back in favor of Sammy Boy. We are on board with the captain of the Sammy squad. He's got red in his sights. Red has been the leader of the damage dealing, as we just saw.
Definitely.
And now, again, still looking for more onto red, but this attack looks like it's going to piddle out a little bit here. Ooh. Red gets sat on, but he gets taken out in time.
God.
Unbelievable. The attack is done and back to doing even more damage to these already hurt frigates is Rogue Squadron.
I did not expect that. What? 24 minutes, 50 seconds on the timer, and we're already this deep
Yavin
into Rogue's
on
attack.
Yavin.
On Yavin.
It's this is insane. I feel like on any other map, Rogue Squadron already wins. Like the game's already over.
Definitely.
What is going on?
What an explosive game.
And Wolf stays alive. He's still alive. Oh, please. He's not. He's gone.
What?
No way Wolf gets away with this. He's out. Are you joking? No way. He's still getting shot down there. He's still alive. Unbelievable. Wolf gets away with that. You're kidding. And now both frigates are going to fall. Laps goes down as well. This is a masterpiece.
Sammy's down.
A masterpiece right now from Rogue Squadron.
Peak form here. Like, this is Rogue Wolf and his team, 181st, in their prime right here. This is them finding their stride. Not that they lost it at any point during the tournament past that first game, but my goodness.
Wow. So Sammy Boy in a bit of a hole right now. The MC-75 is exposed, already taking some shield damage, and the morale continues to stay on the Empire side. Though those AI kills going to be pretty important. We're watching Ellis in the bomber right now. Going to go one-on-one with Red, and he's going to lose that duel, though Red is quite weak. Should be able to get cleaned up here by Big Mean Micro Peen. We'll see if Red does fall. Should be taken out. Or not? No way again.
What in the world? Rogue and his team.
I have no idea.
Have some kind of witchcraft going on right now.
It's not fair. They're using the Force. That's not allowed.
Yeah. They know how the Force works.
Wow.
That is for sure. Like, what an absolute opening there.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how
just the fact
Sammy's going to recover from this right now.
It's unbelievable. The fact that they have extended these attacks. I mean, we're what, 8 minutes in, maybe, 7-8 minutes in, and they've been on attack for 6.5 minutes. And
crazy. Just now, Sammy's getting back on the attack. Like,
yeah.
How is this happening with C and?
If Sammy wants to win this map, these cruisers have to die right now.
Yeah. So we've got Shield still on D with full health, and C is pretty good there as well. Looks like it took a little bit of damage, but still most of the way there. Probably say around 80% currently, going down to 50 now. So they're doing some good damage on C. But man. They have to turn the tide here and now if they want to win this. Like, this is a super vital push here if they want to go on to win the game.
Yeah, Hart's going to get focused down. This is a big kill. Need that on the support. Does take him out. That's a good frag. Exterminator's going to stay alive, but for how long? Can't get back to do any more damage.
He goes down.
Yeah, and 3 players are respawning now. Only Ellis left alive as we look at the scoreboard here. And I mean, yeah.
Red with 24,000 capital ship damage.
Yeah, Wolf not too far behind with 17. So it has been an onslaught to start this game. And right now, again, Sammy trying to pick off Wolf. Wolf gets away with 9 health once more. I think he eventually went down there to Sammy Boy. But the defense holds. The cruisers stand strong. The MC-75 again exposed, but one of the shield generators already gone.
They've got 2 or 3 out of the match right now. Oh, they all are currently. Wow. This is a super important moment for Rogue right here. They're able to do a lot of damage without any defense from the team currently. So, what a match here. If you would, like, we went over this earlier, our expectations for this game, I did not see this coming at all.
I mean, like I said, I think Rogue looked like the better of the 2 teams in the semifinals. I mean, granted, Sammy Boy's squad, really kind of just, I wouldn't say they walked their way through, but it was a 2-0, right? They didn't need to go to 3 games, but I still think Rogue they had to deal with so much of Twisted Jedi, and it just seemed like they were really looking to improve their form throughout that series. But I think I'm right there with you. Even though I thought Rogue looked like the better team, I did not expect this to be the start of this game, as we're still we're still in Team Sammy or Sammy Squadron's perspective. We're on board with Ellis as he takes out that Corvette. But yeah, I mean, this is huge. This is this is big. They do get an attack phase, and those cruisers will be available for damage again. But I feel like the damage, if you will, has already been done. It's not impossible to pull this back. You just need a good attack run, and on a map like Yavin, it's so much more difficult to pull off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a lot of work if they want to pull out that victory. But I mean, it's like you said, it's definitely possible, but they have to be super coordinated. They have to do a lot of damage, and then I don't know if they'll be able to deal enough damage this round. They have to put forward that huge defense if they want to bring up the victory here. Big Green Micropene did go down, as well as Terminator is getting back into the game. Laps is down as well.
Already they're out off the attack, though. I mean...
Goodness.
Oh, my. This... It's a feels bad, man, for Sammy Boy. I mean, Sammy does get more damage on, and I think that cruiser is, inches from death. I mean, it's got to be hurting, but the MC-75 is not in much better shape, and this is the much more important ship.
Yeah, it is quite the game for Rogue Wolf here. I would definitely be I'd definitely be hurting if I was Sammy Boy right now. It's quite the steep hill to climb.
I think this is the last attack right here. I think they finish it off right now.
I think so too.
The shields are gone. The hull hurting pretty bad. Ellis will fall. There's still 4 up for Sammy Boy. They're trying to focus down this Raider, but the hull's still taking some damage. Down goes 4. 4 now are dead. Laps will follow. Sammy is the only one alive. Has to keep Rogue off of his capital ship, but that is a lot of damage.
Inches away from death.
It continues, and there it is.
There it is.
Map number 1.
Oh my gosh.
Over
17 minutes still on the clock. They finished that off in 13 minutes.
And Rogue Squadron
past the dogfight.
Take map number 1. Wow.
A game. Like, that is quite the victory for Rogue Wolf. Congratulations. What are your thoughts on that game right there?
I mean, we kind of already talked about it, right? Like, we went through it while it was happening. It just looked like Rogue came out, I don't know, it looked like they were just...
Came out like a cannon.
Yeah, like they were angry or something like that. I don't know. Maybe they're done playing 3-game series. Maybe they want to end this one as fast as possible because, goodness me.
Definitely.
I don't know. Maybe they were late for the latest episode of The Mandalorian. I'm not sure.
I guess something had them wanting to finish off quickly, and they did so.
Yes,
what
that was
in the world?
The fastest game so far we have seen today by far, and the most convincing in my opinion. But it is a best of 3, so Sammy Boy has another shot. Cannot lose another map, as we're going to move into game number 2 of the finals here in just a moment. But I mean, this is it. Rogue could take the Creators Clash right here, and with the way they played that last map, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what Sammy Boy does with this second game. What's going to happen here? Will he start off as strong? Will Rogue Wolf come back and support that trophy already that he's already eyeing from that first game? Will he be able to take the victory here? We're watching Rogue Wolf's perspective right now. We can see the master at work in this game right now with his team here.
Well, we go from Yavin back to the dockyards, and I guess the saving grace for Sammy Squadron is if there are 2 polar opposite maps, it is Yavin and Nadiri Dockyard. So maybe just struggling to find your footing on Yavin, you can try to utilize the dimensions of the dockyards, and I'm looking to see if Rogue Squadron comes out and wins this early engagement and gets a lot of damage done again, like if they can, remove the shields of the medium ships or or even kill one of them, I
Definitely.
think it's game over right there. But if Sammy
Yep.
is able to do something similar, or if they're just able to kind of stall this game out for a little while, I think it works more in their favor. So look to see them start quickly. But I mean, already the morale going to Rogue Wolf.
Yep. Oh, already on the attack. Goodness gracious. Here we go. They are starting off strong again. I wonder what their strategy is and what they're thinking about as they go into this attack run. Rogue Red was an absolute monster in that last game, dealing a crap ton of capital ship damage. Switching over to Chile here, and doing a good job with the A-Wing, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yep, sitting in that
So we
A-Wing.
got, 2 A-Wings, a support, a X-Wing. I can't tell what Red is, but I would assume Bomber with how much damage he was doing last round.
Yeah, he's certainly in that Bomber. Yeah, and I mean, Hart has been the only consistent support player we've seen so far today, and he will continue to play out of that that support ship. So, pretty. I like this balance here from, especially on the Republic side. I like the balance of, a couple of interceptors that support, and I know people are not hot on them, and a lot of people are starting to move away from them, but I still think the fighter serves a pretty valuable purpose in that it takes a lot of the focus away from the secondary targets like the A-Wings, because obviously the main focus should be the support ship, and I will continue to preach that. The main focus should be the support
right there
ship,
with you.
and then the secondary targets are the A-Wings. When you mix in a fighter into that mix, he's kind of like a beefier version of an A-Wing and forces you to kind of focus him down while the A-Wings escape.
Definitely. Once again, Hart consistently throughout these semifinals and into the finals has been playing that great support ship. He's been doing a fantastic job too, keeping their team up and supplied and healed to where they can do that massive amount of capital ship damage as Red's in the Bomber. I definitely think it was due to a lot of Hart support there that was the case.
Chile doing a lot of damage. Is he going to take... Oh, he does. He gets 2 kills there.
Very nice.
And should have a bit of an opening. He is getting chased down. Not quite sure who's behind him. Wouldn't be surprised if it was an interceptor. Yeah, there is... actually, there's a bomber in Big Green Microbeam, but he only has 5 health. 2 health. Should go down. Does go down.
There he goes.
And I mean, still...
They are strong.
Yeah, just there's been no trading really, or there have been trading, but that's been the problem. There's been, if you are on the offense right now, trading is fine because you're keeping the morale pretty even, and you're getting more damage on these cruisers. I mean, that B cruiser, or is it D? It's hard to tell. Is about to fall right here. I mean, it's about to go down on the first attack run, and this is what I was saying. If Rogue Wolf and his squadron, if they get this cruiser down, I think it's just GG straight away.
Yep, definitely. Once they're playing that strategy so well. Like you said last game, like getting the shields down is like your first goal in that first round, and then getting damaged or destroying those ships, those cruisers, in that first round, that's icing on the cake, and they are so close to taking down.
There it goes.
They do it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And it's Wolf. Who else?
Got one completely down, one almost halfway for the whole damage there. What in the world?
Who else but Wolf?
And again, keeping this in 26 minutes are on the clock, and we've already got one whole cruiser down.
And finally, the attack will end. The other cruiser sitting on about half HP, I believe. And now, finally, Sammy Boy and his squadron will get a look at the opponent's frigates. And this attack, I think, is going to have to do something pretty heavy in return. And that's kind of the thing with squadrons, right? Like, you can have pretty bad defenses or just, tough battles, and you can't quite, get your footing under you. You eventually turn it around, and if you kind of do a similar thing, like if they get a frigate right here, we're back to level. But if this is another quick attack, then it's snowballing for Rogue.
Definitely. They set the rock on the edge of the cliff on that first portion of the game, and then if Sammy and his squadron don't get A or B or do some damage on those shields or something, I think that's them pushing that big boulder down the cliff and watching it roll down.
Well, right now they've got the shields down on A, and they still have pretty decent control over the morale. Although that's going to hurt. Ascend take out 2. And
very nice there.
Will does charge those shields quite quickly. The shields, I mean, again, not something to be underestimated. And one of the big counter arguments, I guess, or advantages to the new Republic ships over the Empire ships are those shields and how fast you can get them to regenerate with the right loadout. And I mean, just sitting on 23 health, Ascend is putting in so much work because these shields have been keeping him alive.
An interesting strategy here. I just noticed this. We've got 3 bombers on the Rogue Squadron right now with 2 A-Wings. So they switched it up on that defensive run, and they've got it back to the attack run here.
Now, do you think that they're going to turn and run and change ships real quick? I mean, Ascend may,
I don't know.
But I'm wondering if they're doing it because they realized that they were about to go on attack, and they can send these 3 bombers straight away to kind of hit the enemy before they respawn.
I think that's what they're doing as we see them pushing in. Oh, they've already got that other cruiser down, right? Or no, they're very close to.
Yeah, this other cruiser is very low. No shields. I mean, they've done a ton of damage.
Ascend is doing a fantastic job keeping that morale there, and doing a great job of staying alive right now as they protect that Corvette.
There it goes. Yeah, I think that was the plan. It's hard to tell again because of our perspective, but they switch out to those 3 bombers, and they immediately get an attack after the bombers come out. I think they just kind of bull rush that last cruiser down before Sammy Boy could get his bearings back, and now the Star Destroyer exposed, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see them group up for a big push here.
Will Hart switch to the support as he did get taken out?
Yeah, Red.
Will he keep?
I mean, Red switched off the bomber, so I would not. Yep, there it is. Hart with the support. Yeah, I think that was the call, man.
Very
That's
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, what a great strategy there. Prepping for the next round, knowing that they will be going on to that attack run. That's some foresight there.
And I mean,
Ascend. How is he doing this?
He should get shut down.
He does get taken out.
You can't sit over top of those guns for too long. They will do a lot of damage until you take out those targeting systems. There again, Red goes down. We'll see. We're on board with Hart. Just gonna take some shots. Try to send these ion bombs down to take out these shields. Has to try to run away, but. Not the greatest attack, I think, for Rogue. Well, I mean, they did get that other cruiser, but after the cruiser went down, it kind of started to sputter out. But, I mean, the shields are gone. The shield generators are still there. But hull damage can be achieved right now, and that's a pretty good bonus after taking out those cruisers.
Definitely. Hart does go down. Let's see what they do. Definitely a little bit of a turning point here. For Sammy Boy, they're doing a great job at keeping that defense, taking them all out before they get a whole lot of damage. Sind is what a beast, man.
He wants it so bad. He's going to turn and try again. He doesn't have a ton of health. He's down to 44. Can he get out of the way?
Oh my gosh.
I don't think he's getting the shield generator. I think it's going to go down, or it's going to stay up. Yeah, it does.
As much as he wants to.
Ooh.
Oh, he's going in for one last push just to get some extra damage on it before the Sammy Squadron attacks.
And I mean that's a pretty good point too. You know, in a lot of MOBAs and things like that, you know, that some players might be coming to us from. There's no, like, the ships are not invulnerable when sides switch, right? You can still do damage to them. It's just you're going to get blasted far more.
Yeah, but if you're already knowing that you're going to die, like Ascend was in that situation, he wanted to make the best of that and tried to do as much damage as he could to those shield generators before he got knocked out, which is definitely a great strategy there. We see Hart currently with that. Is he in the support?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he's in the support right now. What a great team loadout here that they've got.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch Rogue swap out their ships for these different situations. They've got a couple of interceptors again now, trying to play some defense. But on the bright side for Sammy Boy, they are able to take out a frigate. B is coming under fire now. It doesn't have any shields remaining, so this should be some decent damage. Morale is starting to go back in the way of the New Republic. And just need to be careful, I think, if you're Sammy Boy. Don't overcommit to these fights. Yeah, you want to do a lot of damage, but if you lose 3 or 4 players in the process and then all of a sudden the attack starts back up on your side, you know, you've got to wait that 15 seconds until the majority of your squad is back out and flying, and, you know, Rogue can do a lot in that short span of time.
Definitely. Hart is getting targeted really hardcore right now. 15 health left. We'll see if he can get out of that situation and heal another day. Looks like he's trying to go back to that capital ship. Oh my gosh, Rogue is back on the attack already.
Back to business now. The Star Destroyer, though, like I said, they weren't able to take out any of the shield generators, so only a little bit of hull damage has been done so far, but I would not be surprised if those shield generators, at least that one that Ascend was so adamant on destroying, goes down. I think it's got...
He wanted it so badly.
Yeah, I think it's only got maybe 20 HP left, so should see it fall here, but that does mean this hull, or the shield, needs to be chewed through again. We'll see if... we'll see how Rogue deals with this one. Looks like Chile just trying to patrol the area, find some enemies to zone. Lapis is in his sights. I think he hits a couple of those rockets. Does take a lot of fire. Ends up falling, but forces Laps out of the fight. And now his teammate's going to start to swoop in. We're on board with Ascend here.
Very nice. He is doing a great job of targeting those shield generators here. One of the few people that decided to go so hardcore on the shield generators on the Rogue team here. Did take out that right one, so that's very good there.
He just had to finish the job.
He just had to finish the job. Yep.
He could not bear to see that shield generator continue to live. Did they get it? Did he get it?
I don't know. I couldn't tell from that perspective there.
I'm not sure either. I couldn't see his screen because he was, you know, exploding. I think they did. Yeah, there's explosions happening down at the bottom of that ship. I think they got the targeting, or the that's the power system. I believe they got the power system. So that is helpful.
Very, very nice. So they've got one shield generator and the power systems that they took out in that run. Very good run as far as things go. Now they're on the defense here, trying to take back the advantage from Sammy Boy. Let's see here. Hart is in a rough situation right now. Oh, gets taken out. Got smashed between the rock and a hard place, really.
Unfortunate for Hart.
Rogue Wolf goes down as well.
Yeah, this is good.
So
this is good.
4 are down right now. Sammy Boy is taking a great Great attack run there. Doing a good job. Chile is trying to get some more of the morale up. Also trying not to die right now. He's getting targeted pretty hardcore.
Well, the MC-75 sitting at half shields. Chile still alive. He was able to find a couple of trades, which certainly have evened the morale up a little bit. Got to focus down that bomber. 20 health. That big frontal shield going to soak up a lot of damage, but still won't be able to escape the small interceptors here. The shield's nearly gone now for the MC-75. Not sure how the systems are looking for it, but the attack wave, there goes. I think the Corvette dies, or the Raider dies, and now just one AI kill, one of anything, as Laps desperately tries to escape, and there it is, the attack.
Rogue back on the attack once again. What an impressive run for Rogue Wolf right now. Like, if I was on his team right now, I would be super proud of what they had done. Like, they have done a fantastic job. Such a great teamwork there with the switching of the ships when they need to. Ooh, what happened there?
Well, it's going to force Chile out of the fight. He doesn't have a lot of health, has pretty much full shields. He's going to set them to the rear and should be able to get away. But, yeah, I mean, the Star Destroyer now certainly under fire, has about half hull left. The shields are gone. This could be the final
Wolf
push.
Took out that other shield generator.
Yeah, the shield. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's taken so much damage. This could really be the last little bit, though. A couple of respawns are going to happen. The morale is starting to swing back the other way, so Sammy Boy looking to stay alive a little bit longer. But again, this is map number 2 of the Creator Clash Finals. And Rogue Wolf have a 1-0 series lead. If they can take out this big Star Destroyer ahead of them, they will be the Creator Clash champions.
Chile wanted that, but could not get any more damage or get out of there quick enough. So we've got 3 out of the match right now for Rogue's squadron here. Hart and Wolf are prepping for the defense. And oh boy.
This is going to be a tough.
It's definitely getting targeted.
Certainly going to be tough right now for Sammy Boy. They really need to do a decent amount of damage. They were able to get a shield generator. Would love to find another one here if they can. I'm not quite sure on the health of the targeting system, but that should be a priority, but they are going down in droves. The morale is swinging so quickly. They have taken out the shields, and the hull has taken a good amount of damage. But if they can take out this Corvette or this Raider, that's
once
it.
Again on the attack. I think this is the round where they get the victory here.
The Star Destroyer
get this run here.
45 health, 45% maybe. That might even be a little optimistic. Will this be the final attack run of the Creator Clash? We are watching Hart, the support player, as he preps his team, ready to make the run. The hull is absolutely evaporating. See you later. And congratulations to Rogue Wolf and Rogue Squadron. They are your Creator Clash champions, taking down Sammy Boy in 2 games in the finals. Really, really well played.
What a match. Rogue taking the win and the whole series 2-0. Sammy tried his best, but was not able to take it back from Rogue. Like, he was just right from the kickoff. He was ready to rock and roll, played everything perfectly. That was a fantastic game from him.
And I mean, for the entire Rogue Squadron, a very, very well played series. I think those were some of the more convincing wins. That last game came very, very, very close. I think Sammy Boy's team did very well in making that comeback possible, but just a couple of key attacks that didn't quite go their way, and that final push really was amazing to watch from Rogue. But congratulations to them again on the 2-0 win here in the finals of the Creator Clash. I'm so glad that we were able to have that, and I just want to get your thoughts. I mean, on the tournament as a whole, number one, but where do you see, this potentially leading to? It's great to watch the creators, and I'm so glad we were able to do this, but, I want to see the very best of the very best, and I hope that some of these creators are among them.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. Like, going forward, I would love to see that the people, but because of the way the games are run right now in terms of lack of private matches, as you have to change some things up you have to change things up a bit, but going into the future of Squadron's esports, I would love to see it opened up with the support, like with private matches, and seeing those teams that are like, obviously Rogue Wolf is, I would say, in the upper echelon of Squadron's players, as well as Alex Mustache Squadron. Really, really good teams, but I know for a fact that there are other people that play the game every day that are just as good, if not better, than the teams we saw today. So hopefully going forward we can expand that. But overall thoughts on this tournament, fantastic. I love watching all of the games. What were some of your favorite moments going into this in the semifinals and the finals?
Well, again, I as much fun as some of those closer matches was watching Rogue in that first map of the finals, just a dominating performance on a map that can be very, very difficult to do, to have a convincing win like that. And that was awesome to watch. So much fun, so many close battles, so many 1 HP getaways from different people, and absolutely, I don't want to take anything away from Sammy Boy or anything like that, because that is a very tough team to play against, and they did quite the job in the finals to make it exciting. I mean, that could have been a very fast series, but have to give it up to both teams, and I think that match in particular was probably my favorite. But we already kind of talked about what we wanted for the next time, but I'm hoping that we get to do this Creator Clash again in the future.
Definitely. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys on all of the stars fighting it out, because this was such an absolute blast, and I'm really, really happy with the production, really happy with the work that Sammy and Arcross knocked it out of the park with the creation of this tournament. And great to see. Can't wait for the future of all things Star Wars Squadrons.
Couldn't agree more. But unfortunately, folks, that is going to be all the time that we have here for you today. Before we go, of course, want to make sure that I get it out there one final time. Please follow us on Twitter at Star Wars Legions. You can get Creator Clash updates, news, any upcoming tournaments or events for games like Star Wars Squadrons, and of course Battlefront 2 as well. So please do that, and remember the giveaway. You can win a copy of the of Star Wars Squadrons if you do enter that giveaway. So please head on over there. Again, that's at Star Wars Legions on Twitter. And then for us, if you enjoyed our casting, and I really hope you did, because this was so much fun, you can follow me on Twitter, actually any social media you can think of, at HuntedCast, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, anything like that. How about yourself, Uplink?
You'll find me Uplink Podcast on your favorite podcast app of choice, youtube.com/the Star Wars Battlefront Podcast. And definitely, if you enjoyed this shoutcasting, check out Hunted. He's a fantastic shoutcaster. And if you like my section as well, definitely come hang out with us on our podcast. So stay tuned for all things Star Wars Legions. Had an absolute blast. Thank you all for watching.
And folks, thank you again so very much. And one final shout out, of course, to my co-caster and Uplink. It was a joy to cast with you. And for Sammy and Ark behind the scenes, getting everything set up running. It's been so great. Yeah. So great working with them, all the hard work that they've put in, and I'm so glad that we got to see it all the way through to the end. But that's going to be it. Thank you all so very much for watching. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Have a great night.